Hey everyone! Welcome to another Teach and Play with Mandy and Michael. I'm Mandy, also known as Board Gaming Pinup.
And I'm Michael, also known as Paulum.
And well, I know we were a bit delayed from last week. We were supposed to have Dinosaur Island, and we were showing the deluxe edition. This is published by Pandasaurus Games, and it was designed by Jonathan Gilmore and Brian Lewis. So no storm today, so
No
we're
storm,
able to do Dinosaur Park.
Yeah, Canada affected us last week. We were supposed to stream it, but yeah, due to freezing rain, we couldn't actually get together in a safe manner to be able to stream it.
Right. So I apologize to anybody who I know was notified via Kickstarter that we were going to do it, but it was a last minute thing and the storm was quite dangerous and I wanted to live. So we decided to postpone. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
So I am going to hand it over to Michael and he's going to give us a little blurb about Dinosaur Island.
Will do.
And yeah, give us some rules.
All right. So we're going to be trying to build the best dino park that we can. In preparation for this, I haven't told you this. In preparation for this, I actually watched and introduced Susan to Jurassic Park last night. She had never seen Jurassic Park.
I'm sorry, what now?
I know.
Never seen Jurassic
Park? She had
Park?
never seen Jurassic Park. And when I went to watch it again, I had seen it multiple times. I didn't realize that movie is now 25 years old.
Oh my goodness, it
Yeah,
is.
it is 25. It was 93.
And I feel like I just watched it again for like the millionth time the other day. I'm sorry, I love.
But I
love
have
the
to
movie.
say, for a 25-year-old movie, it actually stands up quite well.
It does. It holds a test of time. And
Yeah.
come on, Jeff Goldblum for me is huge draw in the movie, and I love him. So the whole
Yeah.
movie was fantastic. I had an outfit today, but work ran a bit late, so gonna have to do with the flowers.
Okay.
So, and before you start,
Sure.
Needs of the One. The
Hello.
reason I'm highlighting Needs of the One is because Needs of the One has been a huge, huge supporter from day one of us doing this, always tweeting and the positive comments. And today was a weird day at work, so the positive comments are awesome. So thank you for that, and I'm so happy that you could join us.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to be building our best dinosaur park possible. We're going to have various visitors coming in, both good and bad. There's hooligans in the game as well. And we're going to be trying to make some money from those visitors. So I'm going to quickly go over setup. I've already got everything set up, but I'm going to let you know what you need to do to set up. So to start off, you're going to be setting up all the boards, the common boards in the middle. So this is a bit of a space hog. This is taking up a fair amount of space for 2 players. But you've got the 3 common boards in the middle. So you've got your turn order track and victory point tracker on one board. And then phase 1 and phase 2 are these boards. And what I like about this game actually is you have each phase labeled. So it's quite easy to see what you need to do on your turn. Basically, phase 1 is going to be resolved on this board, phase 2 on this board. Phase 3, we have then our own lab boards. And phase 4, we have our own park boards. So it's a nice flow for people that are just learning the game. So to set up those boards, you're going to have the dinosaurs that are going to be available. So I'll show you the back of these. You have 3 types. These will have to be flipped up anyway. So you've got herbivores, small carnivores, and large carnivores. And on the front side of those, these are going to be face up now. On the front side, you have basically the recipe to be able to create that dinosaur. So these are the types of DNA that you need. There are 6 types in the game, and I'll go over those in a bit. But this is going to cover the recipe that is required to create that dinosaur. The excitement level of those dinosaurs when you create them, and the victory points at the end of the game. And then this will be the security level required to keep them safe and away, hopefully, from eating your visitors. And you've got different types of recipes for the various types of dinosaurs. So we've got large carnivore going down here, small carnivore, and the herbivore. So the top ones are the ones that will be available when we start the game. Then you've got paddocks, which I've got in the common pool here. So in the common pool, you've got money, and these, as Mandy was saying, this is the deluxe edition. So we've got these nice, heavy, extremely heavy, with a nice coating on the front showing the values.
Anybody who owns this game in the deluxe version knows how heavy this is.
Yeah,
they
came in the box, so everything with those in the box, you could get a workout carrying that box around. So we've got money, we've got extra tokens and paddocks and extra workers that we can earn later on in the game. The paddocks basically are ways that you can store more dinosaurs in each feature in your park, but we'll cover those in greater detail later on. And then on this board, you're going to have the things that you can use to upgrade your park or your lab. You've got specialists that help you do more things or more efficient things. These are going to be your features or your attractions, your
Features
upgrades.
is good.
Yep, your upgrades for your lab, and then 2 more specific upgrades. Again, those we'll cover later in detail. And then you're putting out 1 of each in each of the rows. You've got a $2, $3, $4, and $5 row. I'm going to cover how those work later when we get to that phase. So what I'm doing right now is just setup, and then I'll cover each phase as we go through them. So I'm not tucking too much up front. All right, so then you're going to, let's see here, dino recipes I've got, endgame objectives. So there are 3 different game lengths that you can get into. And I actually meant to have these out. That's poor planning on my part. There we go. Just so you can see the difference. We're setting up for a medium length game. So I find the short game is actually way too short. It might be good just to get somebody a feel for how the game flows. But to get a good game in, I find medium is a nice length.
Oh,
so,
thank you. So a lot of comments about my blouse. I know I'm interrupting the game here, but
all right.
it is new. It is a Topshop purchase. So for those of you who are familiar, it's new for us, but it's quite big in the UK and in New York.
I was going to say, isn't Topshop UK?
It is, but we have it in Canada. So I did a little online shopping.
I did not know we had it in Canada.
It's for the festive, for the occasion, even though it doesn't really match the colors, but
nice.
I wanted to be all dressed up for tonight.
All right. So you've got 3 different decks of objective cards based on the length of game you wish to play. So this is the back of the cards, and you can see there's short game, medium game, and long game. And you're going to take, based on the number of players, it'll be the number of players times 2 plus 1, or how many of these cards you're going to take. So we're taking, sorry, not the number of players times 2 plus 1, that's the dice. It'll be the number of players plus 1.
Plus 1, yeah.
So 2-player game, we're going to take 3 of these objective cards. So that shows you roughly how long, and I like how it's that old style loading bar behind there. It might be a little hard to see on there, but the front side of those will then have what the objectives are for the game. And they'll be worth 8, 7, or 6 points, depending on whether it is the short, medium, or long game that you're going for. So those are the objective cards. And the ones we have, like I said, we're setting up for a medium game. I don't need to show you, they all look the same. We've got, and we'll cover these again later as we're playing through, just as a reminder of what we're trying for, but we've got build 1 attraction of each type, and there are 3 types: food, merchandise, and rides. Buy 4 lab upgrades, and as I said, the lab upgrades are in here. And earn 7 VPs from dinosaur exhibits in a single round. I'll show how you get those VPs when we get to that stage of the game. All right, then we've got plot twist cards.
Oh boy, these are a doozy.
So these change how every game plays, and there's a whole deck of these plot twist cards. So every game is going to play a little differently. So the first one we got is each player gains any 1 advanced DNA at the end of each round, which means you're going to be able to get advanced DNA a little easier. And the other plot twist is, basically I'll just show you the top here. You're going to get 1 of these upgrades for free. There are 3 different ones to choose from, but you can, at the end of each round, each player chooses 1 of the following bonuses at no cost: increase security level by 1, upgrade paddock capacity by 1, or gain any 2 basic DNA. And we'll cover those at the end of our first round, because that's when you would then look at the plot twists to see how they are changing the game. But those are going to be for our entire play of this game. Then the final thing is choose a first player. So we've decided I'm going to go first. Mandi will be going second. You will have 4 workers to start, 4 in the general supply, and the 9th one then goes up in the turn order. So I am first, Mandi is second, and that will change throughout the game. And then money gets handed out based on turn order. I'm first, so I get 15 to start. Mandi's second, she gets 16. You just add 1 for each spot. So that is the general overall setup. but then you have your own personal space that needs to be set up as well. So the first thing is your lab board is going to go on the left. Your park board goes on the right. So you're looking at phase 3, phase 4. Everything is in order. You've got 4 workers on your logo. You've got 3 scientists up top. And I'll show these.
While you're showing that,
Sure.
I wanted to know if anyone, now I'm right-handed, and I find I always want to switch it. I actually want to put my phase 3 on the right and my phase 4 on the left. I want to know if anybody is like that, who's played the game, if you feel like the way you set it up is different for your own boards. I think I'm a bit strange in that fact that I'm right-handed, but I play potentially like someone who's left-handed. I'm not sure. So I'd be very curious to know. And the chat's awesome tonight. I mean, it's always awesome. It's super awesome. And don't forget the drink of the evening when you're done.
I'll cover that in a second. I will say when Mandy's saying that she likes to reverse her boards, one thing to keep in mind is no matter what orientation you do put them in, make sure you have space to the right of your lab board, because that is where your specialists are going to go. So when you do take specialists, that's why we have a gap in between. There are spots for 3 specialists to the right of your lab board. So if you do switch them, make sure you have space to the right.
And before you, so Games of Fire, what is the age range? I think, actually, it says right here, it says 8+. And I think that would be accurate.
Yeah.
I can totally see that, actually. So, yeah.
So the 3 scientists, I have these set up. I'll just go with the overhead on this. You can see that they are labeled 1, 2, and 3, and that's not the order you play them in. That's basically the strength of the action that they're going to take. But I'll describe that in greater detail when we cover phase 1. But the numbering on these are quite important. And I will point out once again, this is the deluxe edition. In the regular edition, you wouldn't have these tokens for the scientists. They'd just be cardboard chits, but they would still have the 1, 2, and 3 on them. Then we've got, let's see here, starting DNA. So I'll grab another lab board for this because we're already set up. So here's a close-up of a lab board for a company that is not in play this time around. And you've got your 6 DNA tracks. I'm looking at this upside down. You've got your 6 DNA tracks on this side. The first 3 are what's called basic DNA, and they each have their own symbols at the bottom. And the next 3 are the advanced DNA. And when you start, you can see there's these slightly darker squares at the 1, 2 position and at the 4 position on those tracks. That's where these black cubes are going to sit. These are the limiting cubes. So you would set them up across the board like that. So 3 there, and then 3, looking at this backwards, and then 3 down here. And basically that is the maximum underneath that. So if your limit is at 4, your limiter cube is at 4, that means you can only hold 3 DNA with your counter cube like that. And these are nice double layered player boards as well. So your cubes do sit in those squares and don't get jostled around, which is quite nice. So you start with 1 of each of the basic DNA and none of the advanced DNA. And then you've also got your threat level. So I'll grab my cubes.
So while you're doing that,
yes,
Stina is saying she quite likes the rings that you have, and admiring your rings. So I thought I would share that nice comment with you.
So the other side of the board is going to be your security level and your threat level. And for any Office fans out there, I always want to say threat level midnight. Whenever I hear threat level, I want to say threat level midnight. Office fans would get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Not at all.
so at the top you can see these are slightly darker than the rest, and that's to indicate that that is where you start your threat level and, again upside down, your security level. So you'd have cubes starting there. And you have 10 cubes in your color, 6 for your 6 types of DNA, 2 for your threat and security levels. The other 2 are going to be starting on the excitement level and victory point trackers. So we each start with an excitement level of 1. I'll explain why when I get to our park boards. And we each start with 10 victory points, because you can actually lose victory points in this quite easily in the first couple rounds, for sure. So that is our lab. Then, and public track, covered that. Threat and security, got that. That's it, really. Okay, so then with our park, we also get to start with 1 dinosaur. So looking at our park, these are all the different squares that we can put in our various attractions and dinos. So we've got a starting paddock of 1 dinosaur, and we do get to start with 1 dinosaur. And it's going to be the same for each park board. Each park board is slightly different thematically and graphically, but the stats are all the same with an excitement level of 1. So that's why we start with 1 on the excitement level board. And there'll be 1 victory point for each dinosaur we make of this type. And then that little red dot, try and get a little closer here, is your starting threat level. So that's why we start with a threat level of 1.
Before I continue, I know people are asking in the chat the differences between the deluxe and the original. So
Okay.
I know some of the things, but you might know more than I do. That
The
differences
heaviest
between the two.
difference are the coins, those metal
Right.
coins. Those are the thickest metal coins I've seen in any game, and I have many metal coins in many games. Also, the scientists are a cardboard chit instead of the plastic
Flasks? Beaker?
It's a beaker. Yes, I'd go with a beaker. I kept wanting to say test tube, but I know that's not right. Thank you for coming up with beaker.
No problem.
Also, the dinosaurs.
Yes.
So in the base game, and there are how many dinosaurs here? I'm going to say it was in the range of 50, maybe
Okay,
a
quite a few.
little more. I can't remember, but I believe in the base game, all dinosaurs would look like this. But in the deluxe, we have a wide range. There are 9 different types. I'll just show a couple here. So we've got that guy, and we've got that guy, and we've got T-Rex, and
There's a few.
yeah, pterodactyls. So there's a wide range of dinosaurs here.
Yeah.
Play-wise, there's no difference. It is just looks. So yeah, there's you don't have to worry about missing anything in terms of play.
Brothers Murph's in the chat. What?
Nice.
Things about to get crazy.
Okay.
In a good way.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, beverage.
Yes.
I don't think I need to explain the connection at all
This is actually
with this
really
one.
funny.
This is a red wine from California called Carnivore. I think that's, yeah. Now, I can neither confirm nor deny that that is going to influence the type of strategy that I employ in this game. I may go all herbivores. We'll see. But yeah, it's a wine called Carnivore.
I'm so glad Susanna's not watching. She would kill me for that one.
Okay, so I think that is it for setup.
Ready to go?
I think we're pretty much ready to go.
Woo.
And then what I'll do is I'll describe each step. Because this is broken up nicely into various phases, I'll just describe each phase as we get into it. Unless there's any questions before we get started.
I will attempt to try and work this way. I'm giving you fair warning. I'm right-handed, so I'm probably going to do this. I'll try to avoid going over my board too much, but I'm glad to see in the chat I'm not the only one who would reverse it.
Yep, I'm right-handed as well.
You're okay with it? I don't know. It's a bit weird for me.
I've kind of seated myself in front of this. This is where the majority of your action is going to be on the lab board. When it comes to phase 3 anyway, all action will be here. Okay, so to start, one last thing for beginning that I didn't want to set up beforehand because I wanted to show you guys a few things.
Yeah.
Dice, the number of dice. And these dice are nice, big, chunky dice.
Yes.
And each die is actually different, and they have that nice amber look like you would see in Jurassic Park, trying to get extract some DNA from a mosquito in the amber. But I wanted to show each die is different. So, for example, if you had this rolled, that actually lets you get another worker. But out of all the dice, there's only one side on one die that has that. Another example, that allows you to upgrade your paddock capacity, which means you can have more dinosaurs. Again, only one die, one side. One more example, that is a wild DNA, wild advanced DNA. It lets you pick, obviously, any one advanced DNA. Again, one side on one die. Each die is different. The other thing I will show are the dots. So here's another die. That is one of the basic DNA and has one little red dot. That's going to affect our security level for that round, and I'll show how that works with a die in there, but there's another one that has 3 dots on it. So if that came up, our threat level would temporarily be higher. So we do need to randomly pick the dice that we're going to use. The dice number is going to be the number of players times 2 plus 1. So in a 2-player game, we're taking 5 dice.
So Amanda has asked about the additional die that's a different color?
That is one of the plot twist cards.
Okay.
So we're not using that because we don't have that plot twist card in play. But as I said, the plot twist cards are going to change how you play every time. You may also notice that it plays up to 4 players, which would mean you'd only need 9 dice. But they do have a 10th one because, again, a plot twist card might bring in an extra die.
I love it. The Dice Odyssey is on it. I know. This is great. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to just shuffle these up. If you want to temporarily close your eyes,
Okay.
I'm going to lay these out on your park board. So pick 5 without looking.
Oh, okay. There's 1,
Yep.
2.
Yep.
I can do this in French. 3.
So fancy.
4.
Yep.
Et 5.
Very good. All right, so we've got the 5 dice we're using. I won't even look at the dice we're not using, which means, as I said, some of those dice there was only one action that would be available on one side of one die. It might not even be in this gameplay at all.
Right. Which I think happened to us a couple times. Just hoping
Yep.
for some.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right.
I'm going first. So the first thing is going to be the research phase, and that happens on the research board. I'll cover all the actions, but the first thing is the first player is going to roll the 5 dice, and these are potential things we can get with our actions. I'll roll that over here.
Alrighty. Make it good.
Now, you would normally fill these up from left to right at the top, but for ease of seeing, I'm going to keep them away from these stacks, just so that this isn't as tight a space here. So I'm going to put them on the opposite end.
All right.
So what you've got is we now have 5 dice, and there are 5 spots below those dice where we can actually place our scientists to grab whatever is available there. So looking at this board, the various places you can go would be one of the spots underneath the die. If you do take that, you're the only person that can take it. Only one scientist can go there. And the number, so in this case, all we have available is DNA in varying types. And remember I said that the number of the scientist is actually important. It's not the order you play them in, it's the strength that you play them. So for example, if I used my number 3 scientist underneath, let's say, this die, which has the 2 blue basic DNA, you get the number of your scientist times the number of DNA showing. So I would actually get 6 of those basic DNA. However, that's where the limiting cube comes into play. I can only hold 3, so I would move that up to 3. That is my max. So that would be a bit of a waste of the 3 scientists. Other options would be taking a dino recipe. And you've got 1, 2, and 3 on the board. I'm not sure if that's visible or not, but there's the 3 spots labeled 1, 2, and 3. So you must put a scientist that is at least that value or higher to be able to take that dino recipe. So the bottom is the large carnivores. That must be a 3. And then you've got the small carnivores, which would be a 2 or a 3, and then the herbivores, which would be a 1, 2, or 3.
Yes, love so this is from Brothers Murph, love the beakers acting as multipliers.
Yes.
There's so many little areas where there's a lot to consider in this game.
Definitely,
And
exactly.
It's
yep.
very true. And
Yep.
that's why I like the medium length game. I find the shorter game you don't really get to see as much.
Yeah,
of
the
this.
short game is quite short.
Right.
Yeah. The first time I played, I figured, okay, well, I'll start with a short game to get a feel for it. And within 2 rounds, wow,
Okay.
I could actually end this game
Yes.
right now. And I artificially made the game go longer just so I could get a better feel
Right.
for the game.
That's a good thing, though. You want
Yeah,
more. You
yeah,
want
exactly. So other spots that you can play would be in this area here, which is increasing your cold storage. So your cold storage are the 6 different types of DNA that you have in your lab. The number of the scientists you place there, so if I was to put my 3 scientists there, I can then increase 3 spots worth of maximum cold storage. So it could be 3 on one type of DNA or split across as many as I wish, but I get to increase by 3, 2 if I put my 2 scientists, or 1 if I put my 1. The last thing that you can place is this green area is called pass, and any number of scientists can be placed here. And what that means is if you place your scientist, it just simply comes into your lab and now becomes a worker for your lab phase during phase 3. So if you find there isn't anything left I find I need to do, maybe there's more things you need to do in your lab, that gives you an extra worker in your lab. So I'm first player, I will go first. I will take a quick peek around, see what's available.
Yes. This should be interesting. What approach we're going to be taking this game?
Yeah, I feel like my drink choice actually dictates I should go carnivore.
Oh, so Eddie, that's a really good question. I didn't know you were streaming tonight. So how do you stay up to date? So generally, it's every Monday on the Dice Tower and on our Twitch channel, which is in both of our profiles, I think, the link.
Yep.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless, like last week, we had a massive storm here, and it was very dangerous for me to be driving, so we ended up having to cancel it. But 99% of the time, Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I do tend to tweet it on my Twitter account, and as Board Gamer Pinup.
I retweeted as well.
Right. So the reason why we don't put out games as to what we're going to do every week is because it can change. Sometimes we get in a game that needs to be done that we'd like to show before a certain date, and things can change the schedule, so we don't want to put people off that way. But Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Dice Tower YouTube, and Twitch. And that potentially could be changing on what Twitch channel soon, but we will keep you updated on that.
Okay, let's see here. Well, I would like to start taking some DNA. However, I don't have a lot of room. So I'm going to start by using my 3 scientist. And I'm going to increase 3 of my cold storage abilities, and I'm going to go with, let's see here. I'm going to go that one up 1, that one up 1.
Oh, really? Cold storage increase, eh?
Actually, instead of that one, I'm going to go with those 2. So I've increased by 3 the yellow, the green, and the darker blue in the basic.
Yes.
And now turn rotates clockwise around the table. So again, these aren't the order that you play the scientists in, it's the strength of the move that you get with it.
So I will also play my scientists to increase my cold storage.
Okay.
I will increase, oh boy, I think the darker purple tone up by 1. I will also do my green up by 1. And also my yellow up by 1. And no, I'm not copying.
You're going to do exactly what I did. Okay.
No,
okay.
I have plans. It'll be different.
And you really won't have a choice because the pass is the only spot you can have multiple scientists.
Exactly.
Anything else can only have 1 scientist. And this is also limited to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots that are there now in a 2-player game. That doesn't limit us. So if you're increasing those, I'm thinking you're kind of looking at what I'm looking at as well, so I'm just going to go there and take it.
I am so predictable.
So I'm going for one of the dino recipes.
Actually, that is not what I was thinking at all.
Okay. So I'm getting a recipe for a Compsognathus.
Okay.
I think that's right.
I think that's close enough.
Compsognathus. So this is a small carnivore. It fits into my or maybe my strategy of going carnivore. So looking at the tile, we've got the recipe that I need, which is 2 advanced types of DNA, yellow and green, and 2 of the basics. And another way to identify, I'm just going to quickly point out, I will grab this die to do so. You can easily tell what is basic and what is DNA. All basic DNA, what is advanced and what is basic. All basic DNA is basically showing rounded lines. They're all curved, whereas all of the advanced are going to be made with straight lines when you're looking at them. I just noticed that in like the last time I played.
And
so
it's funny, now you say that I see that.
Yeah, so if you're looking, actually not here, just so I can show you all of them at once. I'll try and, there we go. So you can see that these are all made with round, like curved lines. And these, where am I looking here? There we go. These are all made with straight lines. So you can tell at a glance which are advanced and which are basic. It's a little confusing when you're first starting to play because you're trying to figure out, okay, what shape is that and what shape is that? But anyway, so going back to the dinosaur that I've picked, or the recipe that I've picked. So it's got the recipe at the top. It's got 2 excitement. So as soon as I do create my first dinosaur in this paddock using this recipe, it will build my excitement by 2, and you'll see why that's relevant later. Each dinosaur, by the end of the game, will be worth 4 points, but it's also going to increase my threat level by 2, and you're going to want to increase your security level to cover that. Otherwise, people start getting eaten. So then you place that anywhere in your board, in your park. I'll go there. And once things are placed in your park, you're not allowed to move them, but I have to say, I've never had an issue with space in my park.
All righty-roo. What would I like to do next? Yeah, that's not ideal. So I think we're going to take my 1. I'm going to place it here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take 2 of the darker blue basic DNA.
Yep.
1, 2. So 1 times 2 on the die.
Yep.
And that's it. Now I'm curious to know, in the chat, is it Amanda that mentioned my Canadian accent? I honestly don't notice it, but I've had a few people tell me they hear it when I speak. So I'm curious to know what words I say that tips you off that I'm Canadian.
All right. I will.
And welcome to those joining us. By the way, we're actually just kind of getting into the game. We missed a bit of the explanation, but getting to the good stuff.
Yep. And if there are any questions throughout,
yeah, just
shout them out.
throw them in there.
So I'm going to go here, which basically...
I do not say a boot.
So this is the action I'm taking with my level 1 scientist, which means I'm going to get 2 basic DNA of that color. And that puts me up to the max of 3. Back to you.
All right. So now, because I'm super predictable, I'm going to pass.
Mm-hmm. So then that would go onto your lab board along with your other
Yes,
workers.
it is. There we go. Now I've got an extra worker.
So that is the end of phase 1. And that's the research phase, basically where we're researching the various types of DNA and dinosaur recipes. The last thing you need to do now on this, and I'm going to try and show all 5 if I can without dropping them.
So Dice Odyssey, I need to know if they're East Coasters, because East Coasters definitely do say words differently. I'm from the West originally, totally different. But yes, I will cop to saying that I do say A. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do.
I've done that too.
Yeah, I do.
All right. So these are the 5 die faces that we had. And you can see that there are 2 with 1 red dot, 2 with 2 red dots, and 1 without.
Okay.
So once you're done placing your workers, grabbing the various actions available, I'm just going to put these back. You then have to look at which die is left with the highest number of red dots that is unclaimed. So in this case, there are 2 left that have that single red dot. That will temporarily increase our threat level. So you set it aside at the end of that dice track. If it was one of the ones with 2, you would have to put the 2 to the side, and that's going to increase our threat level, and we'll have to increase our security level accordingly or risk having any visitors eaten. You'll see how that works as we get into phase 3 and 4.
So someone had asked about the lines.
Purely
on the board.
artistic.
Exactly.
Yep,
There's
yep.
nothing to it. And to answer your question, I would like a cold pop, please.
Now I'm curious what the question was.
Soda or pop?
Oh,
I've
yeah?
heard people say soda pop. I say pop. Do you say soda?
I don't
No.
say either.
Really? What do you say?
I ask for specifically what I want. I don't just ask for a soda.
No,
I'll
like
ask
I'm feeling
for a Diet Coke, or I'll
Oh.
ask for
No.
a Crush, but I won't actually say.
I say pop.
Yeah.
I say pop.
I don't know what I would say if I just wanted give me a general bubbly drink.
Now you're gonna
And I'm
think
not even
about
going to
it.
answer that question because I don't know. Okay, so that was phase 1. Now we
Okay.
go on to phase 2, which is the market phase. And this is where we can now purchase upgrades for our lab or getting specialists to work alongside of us. So I think what I'll do, basically the way that the market works, you have 4 different price levels. So going from the top down, I'm not sure if that's legible on a screen, but you've got $2, $3, $4, and $5. So anything in this row is going to be $2. The exception being the attractions. These green tiles in the middle will also have an additional cost in the bottom left corner. So for example, the first one available here are balloons. So the balloons have a cost in this corner of 9, and it's in the $2 row. So you would have to pay $11 for this. You will be able to put a visitor on it to get a point later. I'll explain how that happens when we get to that phase. And at the end of the game will also be worth 4 points. And this is considered merchandise. So it's got that t-shirt, so I'll show you the back. So you've got rides, merchandise, and food or restaurants. Those are the 3 types. And that feeds into one of our goals. So now that I've mentioned that, I'll cover one of these objective cards again, which is build 1 attraction of each type: food, merchandise, and rides. The first person to do that would get to claim that.
And I'm going to jump in quickly, and I swear I'll stop talking about pop, or, as Troy says, soft drink, which is actually something we do say, especially on menus, it actually will say soft drink. Yeah, so that is another thing. I don't say it as often, but if I'm in a professional setting, I won't ask for a pop. I'll usually say I'd like a soft drink.
A sody pop, please.
Yes. All right, I digress.
So, as I said, each row, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are a lot of things you can purchase here. We will get to do 2. So there's going to be 1 round of purchasing, 1 more round of purchasing. That's it. So your options would be purchasing a lab upgrade. That is the gray ones here. So I'll just point out a couple. Actually, you know what? Let's just point out as we purchase them.
I think that's good.
We'll point out what we're buying because there's a lot of stuff to cover here. So we've got lab upgrades, we have park attractions, and then we have specialists that we can purchase. You can also purchase these 2 specific lab upgrades, which would be Dino Research and DNA Refinement. Those are things that are already on your lab board. So I'll show another lab board here. So these 2 spots, this would be DNA Refinement, this would be Dino Research. That's how you create dinosaurs. Those 2 are already in your lab, but these give you more efficient or more uses of that ability. Then you can also purchase DNA directly. So within that, the $2 level lets you gain any 2 basic DNA. So it's showing the 2 basic DNA symbols there. You get to pick which ones. $3 gets you 3 basic, $4 will get you 1 advanced, and $5 will get you 2 advanced. So obviously it's more efficient if you do those higher levels, but you need to have the money for it. Lastly, you can also pass. If you pass, you get $2. So I just need to see what we have here for specialists first. Let's see here.
Oh, yes. Specialists are great. I personally enjoy getting the specialists, especially ones that give you extra workers.
Yeah, so you can see, can you see? Yes, you can see in the overhead.
I'm going to jump in.
Sure.
Mr. Jonathan Gilmore is in the chat.
Very nice.
So
thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. So if people have questions, now's your time. I don't necessarily know if he's staying for the whole chat, but welcome. Thank you so much. If anyone has questions, now's the time. Ask.
So I'm going to show you the only specialist we have right now that gives an extra worker. And that's what the blue plus worker is here. When you get this specialist, it does stay in play and will have the ability listed. I'll cover that if somebody gets it. But the plus blue guy does mean that you actually get an extra worker in your lab. We only have 1 available right now. There are even some that have 2 on them, and you'll get 2 more. And you know that any game that has actions, more actions is even better. Let's see here. What else do we have? If you gain any DNA.
Oh, you're deciding what you're going to get?
Yeah, I'm just taking a look to see what's out there.
So, John, it's going pretty low. We just finished rules explanation. We're slowly making our way into the round. So we finished the first phase here using our scientists. Now we're looking at phase 2, potentially acquiring new locations, attractions, or specialists. So we've had some questions regarding the versions of the deluxe and the basic. There have been some ideas thrown around in the chat about potential expansions that people have ideas for, but I will let them explain that to you. But so far, so good. So we're actually just kind of getting into it, but I'm hoping if people have questions about the game specifically, they have the opportunity to ask you. So
we're still in the phase where we're just explaining each phase as we go through it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to get the PR guy. So $4. I will spend 4 for that. And his ability for the PR guy, I get to draw 3 extra visitors each round and then return any 2 to the bag. You'll see why that is important when we get to the park phase. Because that's when visitors come to your park. And as I said at the opening, there are hooligans and they don't pay. So the PR guy will actually let me draw more than I would normally get and then return some. So hopefully I would be able to actually remove some of the hooligans if any do get to my park.
Oh, there's some good stuff there. Yikes. Oh, dear. So I'm looking at the insider. Once per game, you may search for any one face-down marketplace item and put it into play for $4 plus additional costs for attractions. Kind of feeling that because it gives me an additional worker.
Okay.
But the mad scientist looks kind of good because I get to gain DNA during the research phase, but I gain an additional. So if I gain it in that round, I gain additional.
Yep.
Basic.
Yep.
No, I think I'm going to go with the insider for the lovely price of $2.
Yep.
And let's pay her up here. There we go.
Okay. And then because it does have that extra worker symbol,
Thank you very much.
another worker from the supply.
Yes.
All right, so that was one round of purchasing. We get one more round. Well, let's see here. All right, I think for the low, low price of $2.
Oh boy. Ah, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the better tool bench.
That's
so
a good one.
$2. So I'll show this. This is one of the lab upgrades. So better tool bench, upgrade paddock capacity or increase security level by 1 at a discount. And there are 2 spots. So this is where you would be placing your workers. So the first worker I place gets a $2 discount on one of those actions. The second worker will get a $1 discount. So when you do place that in your lab, so I'll grab this other lab board again. So you do have the pre-built, we'll say. So these brown ones can only be upgraded using the ones that I pointed out on the market board at the $3 and $5 level. The other gray areas, so this is a tool bench. That is, what are we looking at? The venture capital, where you can just get money. And then you've got 2 spots over here that are listed as under construction. So when you do get an upgrade, it'll go into one of those spots. And now you've got more actions for your turn. Once you've filled that, then you can also get more and just put them on top. But once you put something on top, you would lose whatever the ability is underneath. All right, that is my second action. Back to you.
Okay, so for the lovely price of 3 coinage, I'm going to acquire the intensive research area.
Okay.
So that's going to be 2 and change. And I will take that and place that here, gaining 1 advanced DNA when I take that action.
Nice. Now, one thing I had mentioned that we get to start with a dino. We didn't actually pick our dinos because I got distracted with the variety of dinos we have in the deluxe game. So yes, we do get to start with 1 dino in our park.
So I'm going to pick the Stegosaurus. Well, that's what I'm calling it because that's what it was when I went to school.
And that'll go into the
paddock.
paddock. Yep.
Correct.
Okay, so that was the market phase. Then we go to the worker phase, and that's where we're going to be looking at our lab board. So I have 4 workers to use. Mandi actually has
a lot.
6 now because she got the extra one from her specialist, plus she had passed with one of her scientists, and that became a worker for this phase of the game. Now this can normally be done concurrently, just everybody do their own thing, but so that we can explain what we're doing, we'll just go in turn order. I'll do all of my actions, and then Mandi will do all of hers.
We do have a question from Amanda. Can you have... Oh, actually, John's on it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Excellent. So I've got 4 workers. One thing I need to look at is, as I said, with the die that was not selected, that is going to temporarily, for this round only, increase our threat level by 1, which means I am currently looking at a threat level of 2, and I only have a security level of 1. So I will want to change that, because otherwise, if you do not match the threat level, for everything you're off by, every number you're off by, you have a visitor getting eaten. And in my case, never go to the hat shop in my dinosaur park, because that is always the first person to be eaten. That is a personal choice that I make. The hat shop is not as safe as you think it would be. So one thing I do want to do is increase my security level. I think I would also like to potentially get another dinosaur out there. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do, the paddock, the base paddock, whether it's the dinosaur that's printed on your board or any recipes that you get later on in the game, only holds 1 dinosaur. So I'll show you this again. So you can see it's showing, there's basically a white spot that might be hard to see on here, but there's only 1 spot for a dinosaur, and it does say here 1 visitor times 1. So there are spots for 4 visitors, but you can only have the number of visitors that is showing on the paddock, and you can only have the number based on the dinosaurs that you have. So let's say you had upgraded your paddock to level 4. That means you could have 4 dinosaurs, 4 visitors, but if you only had 2 dinosaurs in there, you could only have 2 visitors visiting. So I would like to increase the paddock level of this dinosaur, and that's where you grab these. So here's a paddock increase. So you can see there's the faint white lines indicating that there's now 2 spots for dinosaurs, 2 visitors, and it shows a price of 2 coins. So if you wanted to increase to the 2nd level paddock, you have to pay 2 coins. To increase to the 3rd level, you would flip it over, pay 3 coins. And to increase to the 4th level, 4 coins. And you must do each level. You're not allowed to skip unless an ability says otherwise. So there are, I think it's a specialist that's out there that lets you skip a level in your upgrades. So I would have to pay the level 2 first, and I would have to take the action to do so. So my tool bench is upgrade paddock capacity or increase, or better yet, my better tool bench, which is the upgrade I took, lets me do it at a discount of -2. That would cost me $2. That saves me $2. I don't spend a coin. So once I've done that, I would like another dinosaur in there. So I will go to Dino Research, which is create 1 dinosaur. The base dinosaur on all boards is just 2 of any basic DNA. So I'm going to spend the 2 of the light blue that I got in the starting phase, and that will get me another dinosaur, which is this dude. Yes, this dude. Now, when you get another dinosaur, that means your excitement level is going to go up because people are excited to see more dinosaurs, and the excitement level is, I'll just show you on this as an example, but it's only going to be 1 for the base one. So that, in that black triangle, is the excitement level. That's showing 2, but on the board it's showing 1 for that specific dinosaur. So I go up 1 on the excitement track, but it also shows another red pip, which is up 1 on the threat level. So now, with that temporary increase, that's at 3, with a security level of 1, I need to do something about that. So I'm going to use my better tool bench at a discount of 1 to increase my security level. So I'll pull out this other board again. So showing here, you've got your security level is in the yellow going down, and you can see there's a cost of 1, cost of 2, cost of 3. So for each of those increases, it will cost that much, going up to 5 coins for 9 and 10. If you go above 10, which there's a good chance you will, there's a token that that shows it's plus 10. You go back to the top for 11. But once you do so, it's not then $1 to increase. It will then be 5 for every level beyond that. So that would cost me 1 to get to level 2. And I got a discount of 1, so that didn't cost me anything. That's fantastic. But I do want to increase once more, so I'll use the regular tool bench, which bumps you out to level 3. I'll pay 2 coins to do so. That is my turn.
All right, well, let's...
A lot of talking, and that is my turn.
I'm super easy. Collect money from the bank.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Well, I guess I could trade these in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's good.
Having stacks is nice.
Exactly. I like having the monies. So now I'm going to upgrade my paddock here, which I believe is the low price of 2 coins.
Yep.
So those 2 coins I just took, well, -1, me there. And we're going to put that in there, which is going to allow me to house another dinosaur if I so choose. Oh dear. Well, in thinking about that, I think that I will create a dinosaur. And I now have to spend, because it's the initial one we started with, I have to spend any 2.
Yep, any 2
basics. So 1 and 2 to get another Stegosaurus. And that will increase my excitement by 1.
And your threat by 1.
Yes, oh boy, that threat. But we're going to deal with that shortly. So right now, what are we looking at? So I'm at 2, and then that would be 3. So I need to upgrade to here. So that's going to cost me...
Unless you don't mind losing some visitors.
Well, that does happen regularly for me in this game.
Same
so
here.
it's going to spend a total of 3 to at least make me equal. So first I gotta take the action. Let's take my person, and we're going to increase security level by 1. So let's start with that first. So that's going to cost 1, and that's going to happen. And then
And you do have to do each level individually unless you had an ability that said otherwise.
doing it again for another 2.
Yep.
And
you still have an action left.
I know, so many decisions. Well, one can never go wrong with, I gotta think about this. Oh, let us do some collections of the money.
All right.
I'll
So
take that too.
the base, one of the base actions that are on the board, like I said at the start, at the bottom is the venture capital. That lets you gain 3, 2, and 1 for each worker that you place there, each successive worker that you place there.
Okay.
Okay, so that is our worker phase. We've done everything in our lab. Now we move to the park phase, and that's where people come. That's where we get visitors coming to the park.
No hooligans.
So in this bag, we've got the Dinosaur Island bag. There are a whole bunch of visitors.
So there is a question. So only 1 visitor per dino in a paddock? Question mark.
1 visitor per dino in a paddock. Correct, yes. So if you did have, like right now I have the 2nd level paddock upgrade, which lets me have 2 dinosaurs, and it does have the ×2 visitors on it. But let's say I had the level 4, which does say that it's 4, you've got spots for 4 dinosaurs, and you have 4 visitors. If I only had 2 dinosaurs there, because I hadn't actually created the rest yet, only 2 visitors would come in, because you only get 1 visitor per dinosaur. Yes.
No one wants to visit an empty paddock. Well, especially in movies like Jurassic Park.
So in this bag, we have a total of 80 visitors. There are 70 yellow visitors, which are great to get because they're paying customers. There are 10 purple ones, and those are the hooligans that just get in, they butt in front of the line, they get in before anybody else, they don't pay, and you don't get any points. And unfortunately, you can't have them eaten first when things do go wrong. So what you're going to get to do is you pull visitors based on your excitement level. So right now my excitement level is 2. I get to pull 2. There's the 2. They're both yellow. I'm happy. Now let's say I pulled a hooligan. That's where my PR guy would come into play. And I would get to pull 3 extra ones and then put any 2 back in the bag. Actually, you know what? Even without it, I'm still going to do it because it gets me 1 extra. So I get to pull 3 extra, and then 2 go back.
So I've seen all the Jurassic Park movies, the original 3, and then the newest one. I think that's the one with Chris Pratt, if I'm not mistaken. Is that World?
I can't even remember if I had watched.
I'm pretty sure that's the one with Chris
I've watched
Pratt.
at least one other because I was explaining to Susan when I introduced her to Jurassic Park for the first time finally.
Yes.
I had said that I know I've watched at least one other because I seem to remember one of the parks had pterodactyls or something flying.
Right.
They didn't have that in Jurassic Park. So I must have seen at least one other one.
Yeah, I've seen them, all of them, as far as I know.
Now, before they go into your,
Yes,
into
they
your
gotta
park, they're going to go into your
wait in
line.
line. I always get a little antsy.
And when they go in line, you must put the hooligans to the front of the line. Even though you don't want to, you're also going to get money based on each of the paying customers that you get. So in this case, I have 3, so I get $3. You get 1 for each. You've got 2, so you would get $2.
Yay, $2.
Now, let's say I had pulled 3 people, but 2 of them were hooligans. I would only get $1 for the 1 yellow. Now, once they've paid, you then get to place them in your park wherever there are available spots.
Oh, that hat shop's looking mighty interesting.
Available spots. Again, this is a blank park board that you would start with. There's a hat shop to begin with, so there's 1 spot there. And then you start with 1 dinosaur, so there'll be 1 spot here available as well. I have 2 dinosaurs here because I do have we actually both have the upgraded paddock, and we have 2 dinosaurs in it, which means we can put 2 visitors into those spots. But that is also where you would have cards like these. So I'll show this here. So there's the hyper coaster. That actually has spots for 3 visitors. And then, as I was saying at the start, the balloons has a spot for 1 visitor down here. And you will want more spots. Right now, we're good with the visitors that we had come in. But later on, you might have more visitors than you have spots. And what happens then is everybody else just waits in line, and you only get victory points based on the visitors that are left in your park. So once you've drawn the visitors, you then look at your security. So I'll look at my board first. I have a threat level of 2, plus the temporary threat level here of 1, makes it 3, but I have a security level of 3. I'm good. If I was off by one person would get eaten out of my park, and it would be a paying customer before it's a hooligan. So you have no choice. That guy would come out, and you would lose a victory point for each person eaten. So yes, that's me. I am good. So you've got a threat level of 2.
It's exactly the same.
Plus 1 is 3, and your security level is good. So neither of us have anybody eaten. That's good. If you did, as I said, you lose 1 victory point for each one. But it would be a swing of 2 because each person in your park is also going to get you 1 victory point. So I'm going to get 3 victory points for that. Puts me to 13. You've got 2, so you'll get 2 victory points. Puts you at 12. The only exception would be restaurants, and there is a restaurant out here. Excellent. So this is the D nachos, or DNA nachos, if you will.
Oh my goodness.
So there's one of the restaurants that are available. It would cost you seven coins plus whatever tier it's in the market. And it might be, actually, you know what? I'm going to try and show that on the overhead because it's very faint.
Bye, Brothers Nerf.
Very
Thanks
faint
for joining us.
Thank you for joining. But basically, in each square here, you've got spot for a visitor, and it shows, it's hard to see on the camera, but it shows a line with 2 coins or 1 victory point. So with a restaurant, you get to pick for each visitor that's in there. You either take the 1 point that is similar to any other spot, or you can take 2 coins if you're short on money. So I took the 3, you took the 2.
I did.
We are good. So then we go to phase 5, which is the cleanup phase. So first thing is reset turn order, and that goes in reverse turn order. So now Mandy's going to be first, and I'm going to be second. If it was tied, you actually don't change turn order. Some games have you swap for ties. This game does not. If it's tied, you remain the same. Then we refresh the market. So anything that is still in the market, first thing is the top level, the $2 level, gets removed. Anything in that gets removed from the game. I'll put that over there. Everything else is going to slide up. And then we're going to refresh or fill the empty spots.
Okay.
And I think there's one thing I did not mention with the setup that I'll mention now. I don't think I mentioned it. When you first set up, you do draw and fill these up. But all of the attractions, those green tiles, you would also sort according to their cost. But that is the only time you do it, is during setup. Okay, then we have new dino recipes. So a dino recipe was taken from here, so we do reveal a new one. Return your workers and scientists.
All right.
Visitors go back in the bag.
Ooh, I have a lot.
And then we're going to resolve the plot twist cards. So I'll explain what those are again. So the first one is each player gains any 1 advanced DNA at the end of each round. And remember, these are randomized from a deck. There are quite a few plot twists. So you can see the game is going to change every single time. You won't be able to employ the same strategies necessarily because the plot twist cards might give you more benefits in other forms.
The one tar. Sorry, I got excited. Thanks for joining. Oh, that's so nice. Hosting it over on the one tar. That
Nice.
is so
Thank you.
awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're able to join us. I know
Yes.
you do your own streaming. So for those of you who don't know, one tar, or Tiffany as you've seen her on Twitter, also streams, and they're fabulous to watch.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, so that plot twist card lets both of us get 1 advanced DNA of our choice at the end of the round.
I think I'll take a bit of the green action.
I will as well.
Okay, so you stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know generally I've caught you, it would be on a Tuesday because I'm usually home on a Tuesday night. So there you go. One tar streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays. Check them out as well.
Okay. The next plot twist card that we have in play is the one that gives us 1 of 3 upgrades like I was mentioning during setup. So I'll go over this again. At the end of each round, each player chooses one of the following bonuses at no cost. Increase security level by 1, which lets us increase this permanently. Upgrade paddock capacity by 1, so this level 2 could go to a level 3, for example. Or gain any 2 basic DNA. So we get to choose one of those as an upgrade at the end of every round. And I'm going to, what am I going to do?
And I just realized I don't think Tiffany and I have ever played any games together at a con, so we need to change this.
All right.
But she did do a very good job of taking Suzanne and I around the very busy Essen area, so
Nice.
Oh, that's amazing.
I think I'm going to...
Okay, so are we doing the second one?
Yep, I'm going to upgrade my paddock. So that is now a level 3 paddock.
Or what's the other
So
option?
basically, it saves me $3.
So I'm going to...
So security level up 1, paddock up 1, or 2 basic DNA.
I think we'll do the paddock because it costs more.
Okay.
Is really what it comes down to.
Yep.
So
right now, our security levels only cost 2 coins
Right.
to upgrade, whereas the paddock would cost us 3. So this will get more beneficial later on when things get more expensive.
Oh, Feld. Yes. I love a good Feld.
All right. That's good. So we're carrying on.
Yes. Oh, wait. It's me. But we got to do this first.
Yep, so you're the first player.
Yahoo. I
You
get to roll the dice.
Roll the amber.
Okay, here we go. Ooh. It's a nice little
variety there.
treat that's happening here. I'll try and turn them all the same way for the most part. Well, no,
There isn't
not.
really a, there isn't really
Just
a
to
same
kind of
way.
make it
That's fine.
easier, but I think it is what it is. Alrighty, Roo.
Okay, so one of the things we are going to have to worry about this time is there is a die
A doozy.
that has the 3 red pips on it. If nobody takes that, that means our threat level will be temporarily increased by 3 this round.
Oh dear.
And then another notable, actually there's a couple more notable ones. So remember, when you place a scientist, you get the level of the scientist times whatever is on there. And in this case, there's 3 of those basic DNA. So if you were to put a level 3 scientist on that spot, you get 9 of those if you had the maximum capacity allowances to it. And the last one I'll show, that tricolored basic shape means you get any one, or depending on the scientist that you put down, of your choice of basic DNA.
Okay, so if anyone wants to see anything that's hard to see, because I know it's a bigger game, so we had to spread it, let us know. We'll make sure we get a nice close view for you for that.
Yes.
All right, what am I doing? I have a worker and I need to have a scientist in my hand. Okay, well. I hadn't carefully thought this out yet.
All right.
So I'm actually going to take my 1 scientist, and I will take the die that has 3 of the darker kind of purple.
Yeah, you will.
1, 2, 3. Whoop. Hello, right to the top. There we go.
Before we carry on any further, I don't think we pulled any of the special dice that I was mentioning at the start. I'm going to show 2 of those again because it is important to note. If I can find, got that one. Is the paddock one out there?
It might be.
Oh, no, here it is.
You got it?
Okay. So remember, I did show you these 2. So one of them, now that you know what we're doing, one of them allows you to increase the paddock, and the other one lets you get another worker. But to grab these, you must use a level 3 scientist. So it isn't 3 times a paddock increase. You must use a level 3 and you only get 1. Because these are such a strong ability, you must use a level 3 scientist to get them. But in this case, we don't actually have these in the game. These are not being played this time around. So we know those aren't options, but I wanted to point that out for any games that you do end up playing that those show up. Okay. Well, I think if you're going to leave the wild one there, I'm going to take 3 basic DNA.
I'm so glad, Jonathan, you said that in the chat. People are talking about potential expansion, and
Okay.
Jonathan has said he cannot confirm, but definitely keep an eye out March 12th. So,
Or whatever.
yeah, we're just going to go with that.
Okay, so that was 1, 2. I get 1 more. 3. So I took 3 of the basic DNA.
All right. What would I like to... I feel like I need some advanced DNA, and it's just not happening right now. A little upset about this. So, just because I like to live on the edge a little bit, I'm going to take my scientist, Mark 3.
Nice, going for the large carnivore.
We're going to go for the... Hold on. Saraphaganics? I can't say it.
I don't even know if I want to try.
Saraphaganics.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go with that.
That works for me.
That's not too bad. Oh, goodness. Okay, no, we'll just pop that in there and move it along.
All right.
Yes. No. So, man, it just makes you keep up with the chat and play a game at the same time. I think for me, not to say I don't enjoy winning games, I do. I think I'm less worried about it. And I think, people, this is no surprise, people know. So I have ADHD, and I'm very comfortable with doing multiple things at the same time. So this is actually really great.
And this is why it does take 2 of us to do this.
Yes.
Because with all the teaching that I'm doing, as much as I wish I could interact directly with all of you that are watching, I've tried before doing solo games. I've done 2 solo games, and the first one, it was tough. The second one, Susan actually joined me as a disembodied voice, just watching chat for me, and that made it a lot easier. But it does take 2 of us to do this for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to. Am I going to do this?
Are you going to do this? What are you going to do?
I'm thinking I'm just going to pass.
For those of you jumping in, I just got a really big one, sort of.
Oh.
We'll see if I can actually do it, though, is the question.
You know what? I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass and take both of those scientists as workers for my lab days.
No, that totally makes sense. I need to now take a look at what I'm working with and make sure
and worry about that.
Somewhat, sure, yeah, but I may not decide to do anything there yet, so I haven't fully decided what I want to do. That is the question, however. Let's see, what do we have on the board? That might make a difference. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Oh, boy. This one? Nope. Nope. And no. Wow, those are all horrific for me right at the moment. Interesting. Do I work with one less worker, or do I take some DNA that I don't technically really need at this point? But that threat level is a bit of an issue.
Yep.
So you know what?
That's
I think
scary.
I may have to do that, sad as that is.
Okay.
Just to get rid of it.
Yep.
I can't take... Oh, it's actually perfect, so it's 2.
Yeah, you get 2 of them.
Yep, which is fantastic.
And that is all of yours as well. So then we look at what is the highest pip count on a die that had not been claimed. Mandi did claim the one with 3 pips on it. So the next highest one, this one is unclaimed and has 2, which means our threat level is temporarily increased by 2 this round. Okay, so then we go on to the market phase. And you are first, so you get first crack at what's available.
See, I thought I was the only one. A lot of people play solo games. I'm just reading a bit of the chat. I am not a solo gamer. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. It's odd. I actually like to have alone time and things like that and recharge.
Right.
But when I'm playing a game, I think I like the interaction with other people.
Same here. That's one of the things that I love most about gaming is the interaction with other people. I do play the occasional solo game, and I really enjoyed teaching. I did a teach and play solo of Hostage Negotiator. That was fun. And spoilers, I pulled off the win. That was a tense game. And then I also did a teach and play of Friday, which I played twice, I think, on the stream. Not so sure if I got a win though.
But people enjoy it.
Which is frustrating because I got like 5 or 6 wins in a row before going live, and then I completely flubbed it.
And I have a lot of respect for people who can play solo games. I mean, I probably would cheat. I'm not. I will 100% be honest. I will probably cheat, not even know it. So, mad respect to people who can do that.
But generally, most of my time that is spent not playing games is spent learning new games. I just facing a rule book, getting ready to teach the next one.
Okay, I am going to Spend 2 coins.
Okay, so I'm just going to show this so they
Yeah.
can see what you're grabbing. Intensive research. So this is a lab upgrade that Mandy's buying. It says gain any 1 advanced DNA. That first spot has 1 worker, which means 1 worker gets you 1 advanced. This one says times 2. So to do the action a second time, Mandy would have to use 2 additional workers to get that.
Ha! Dice Odyssey. How would I? If you don't know it, how are you cheating? So to be fair, I have played Caverna, which is one of my favorite games, solo, and had this ridiculously high score. I'm like, yeah, I am pretty sure that I didn't do something right here.
Yeah.
So there we go. So gonna add that. Okay, here we go.
Yes. I'm not liking any of the specialists out there.
No, me neither. They're not great.
All right, then I think I'm going to go for DNA refinement upgrade. Do I have the money for that? Oh boy.
Yeah, do it.
So
do it.
I'm looking at the lab upgrade. That is, there are 4 of them here because they're face up. There's 1 for each player up to a 4-player count, and it's upgrading those 2 brownish colored spots in your lab. All right, I'm gonna do it. $5.
What?
Gets me that. I'll show you what this is.
Insane.
Actually, I'll show you the basic one first. So I'll grab this lab board. Let's see if I can do this way. Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, I'm already here. I think I might have been stuck on that. All right. Sorry for looking at my face. All right. So here is what's called DNA Refinement 1. So this is the basic level. And what this lets you do is turn 2 basic DNA into an advanced. So you've got the 3 different advanced DNA types and the 2 basic you need to make them. And there's 1 spot. With this upgrade, it's still the same values, but now there are 3 spots, which means I can refine up to 3 advanced DNA in a single round. And that gets placed right on top of that spot. That is me.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I like that upgrade paddock capacity by 1, but not.
You'd have to put it on top of something.
Well, because it's specifically relating to this one. Because I can't just place it over anyone.
No,
so
you can place it over anything.
somebody just,
This?
this one here?
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. That would have to go over top of one of the gray ones. It cannot go over top of these.
No,
Yep.
for sure. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Because I know we
Yep.
were talking about it in the chat. So this
Okay.
is why, and I know John was saying there were specific ones that can go over other ones. Somebody asked us
Yeah,
in the
like
chat.
these two.
Yeah.
Unless I'm incorrect,
So-
then please correct me. But the DNA refinement must go over the DNA refinement, and the Dino research must go over Dino research.
Right.
But my understanding is any gray one then goes over any other gray
So
spots.
so John, if you're still in the chat, this is great if you could clarify, because we just want to make sure we're doing the right thing here.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have gray ones and we choose another gray kind of, I don't know, location to place on our board, is this possible, or does it have to be empty?
Mm-hmm.
So we're good.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right,
Yeah.
so somebody else had asked as well, so I wanted
Okay.
to make sure.
No, the ones that are specific
These
to
ones
the
here.
spots are the ones that I was just pointing out and that I purchased. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look. Oh, yeehaw. See, and I don't really want to cover this because that takes away my ability to.
And that's where you'd have to make a decision.
Right, and the way that I'm going,
As I said
need
earlier
that.
on, when you do place one on top of another, you lose the ability that is underneath. So you want to make sure that you're not covering up something that is important to whatever strategy you're employing.
Oh yeah, no, I am definitely not going to cover that up. So I think we're going to go to the create. Well, yes, create one well. Yeah, no. Create one dinosaur. I can't see them for 3.
Okay.
So that will cover this, basically upgrading it.
So I will show you what that upgrade is. That's the other one that you start with on your board. So here we have the Dino Research Level 1. Lets you create a dinosaur. Your first action requires 1 worker. Your second one requires 2 workers. But if you get the upgrade to Dino Research 2, it then only takes 1 worker for each one, and you can do it 3 times now. So it makes it much more efficient to be able to research dinos.
Aw. So I don't know if Games of Fire would like me to share this comment, but I'm reading a comment about how they got into the hobby, and I think that's fantastic. And you found your people. I think that's so great. So awesome.
Okay, I have one more purchase to go.
But yes, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get the create the dino research, so that's going to cost $3. That puts me down to 2, but I'll take that upgrade as well.
My goodness, I feel you made off better than I did. So what did you end up getting? You ended up getting
I just took both of
those two to upgrade.
Yep.
I have that, and wow, I feel like I didn't do anything else.
You took.
I did 2. Yes.
Yep, you took
this
one
one
of
and
these,
this one. The gaining the advanced DNA and the dinosaur. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the market phase. So now we are on to the lab phase. And I'll let you go first. So as I said, this would normally be done concurrently, but we want to explain what we're doing and why we're doing it. So you're first player. You can resolve yours first.
Do all my stuffs. Okay,
Yeah.
so while we're here, let's first go to... so I need to gain any... Oh, you know what I just realized? I have 2 of the same tile. That's hilarious. That's okay, because it's actually going to work out.
Okay.
Gain any one advanced DNA. So
Okay.
we will get a pink. That's hilarious that I just noticed that right now.
Which isn't bad because
No,
you did
I
take one of the you took one of the
Exactly.
large carnivores, which generally the large carnivores will require much more advanced DNA than others. So Mandi right now has ways to get many advanced DNAs and can make more of those.
So it wasn't intentional, but it worked out.
Yep.
So another advanced DNA I will be gaining, which will give me a yellow.
Yep.
And then, let's see what I want to do here. So I have 3. I need to think about this carefully here, because this is a problem. Well, sort of. Yikes. Okay.
The threat level's a bit of a problem.
Well, it is, but well, we're going to see what happens. Somebody gets eaten. Well, so be it.
C'est la vie.
So I'm going to create a dinosaur. And because I'm creating one of the ginormo Saurophaganax, I'm just going to give that up. It's going to cost me 2
So I'm going to show
basic
that's okay.
of the, of let me just green.
and then one of each.
And then a pink and a yellow.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is one of the large carnivores. So again, you can see on the back, large carnivore. And as I was saying, the large carnivores generally use much more advanced DNA than basic. So it's 2 basic of the same color here, but then it's 1 of each of the advanced ones. And that's where it's nice that Mandi now has the ability to get all kinds of advanced DNA.
Thank you. So now we get to get one of the very large dinosaurs. I know it's not going to match the picture, but I'm going to pick one that I think is appropriate.
Sure.
So we'll pick this one. There we go.
Okay.
So we currently can only house the one, but lordy. So the excitement level is now going up by 3.
That is very exciting to have a large carnivore.
Pretty exciting and dangerous.
The odds of being eaten are much greater now.
Oh,
People want to go see that.
They will be high. So
And your threat level.
yes, so my threat level goes up by 2.
Yep.
It's not looking good because it's going to go. Technically, I really need to get down to 6, which is not going to happen, unfortunately. So
Chomp.
somebody will get eaten, but the sacrifices of making a fantastic park.
Exactly.
So I think this one will be to upgrade my security level by 1, which
Okay.
will be $2 or 2 coins. Oh, I feel that's going to make a yank. Thank you. And yeah, how many people do I want to get eaten is the question. Okay, I better do it. So we'll go down here.
Okay.
Ooh, that doesn't leave me with very much buying power, and I don't like that. If I get 2 people eaten, it's 2 points. It's really not that big of a deal. So rewind.
Yep.
I'm gonna take $3.
Sometimes money is more important than a human life.
Okay, don't say it like
In gaming
that.
only. In gaming only.
So I took the money instead. So I'm gonna lose some people. I'm very sorry.
Okay. Over to me. I would also like to create one of my new dinosaurs, the Compsognathus, which is a small carnivore. So it's not as complicated to create as Mandi's. But I don't have what I need right now. So first thing I'm going to show you is how the DNA refinement works. So as I said, I have the upgraded DNA refinement lab lab upgrade. And I need yellow to be able to create that. So yellow, so looking at that upgrade tile again, is going to require these 2 basic DNA to be able to make it. So I will spend one of these and one of these, and that gets me the yellow DNA that I need. I will then create that dinosaur, spending one, a green,
so quick question,
and
just
a
a
yellow.
quick question, just finished
Okay.
a game. The extra worker you gain from the dice, is it permanent?
Yes.
As far as I know, it is.
It's
you paid
permanent,
for it.
so just to make sure we're talking about the same thing here.
Thanks, Jonathan, for joining us. Very much
thank you.
appreciated for
Thank you.
answering those questions.
We do not have it in our game at the moment, but just to make sure you're talking about this die here. Yes, it is permanent. You only get 1, and as I was saying earlier, you can only use a level 3 scientist to get it. So normally, for most actions, the scientist multiplies the number of things you get, but in the case of the worker and the paddock upgrade, you must use a level 3. You only get 1, but it is for the rest of the game, yes.
And Games of Fire, if you're still online, I think it's fantastic you're starting a channel. It's definitely so much fun and rewarding. There's some good advice I see in the chat. Definitely take some of that, and if you have any questions, you can definitely drop a line to either Michael and myself, Michael and Mandy Play
Yep,
at
MichaelandMandiPlay
gmail.com, or even at
it's in the description of the video
right,
as well.
or
Yep.
even Suzanne and Mandy at gmail.com, because we've definitely been doing this for a little while, and if you have any questions, we would be more than happy to help you.
Okay, so creating that dinosaur, I then get extra 2 on the excitement level. I also go up 2 on the threat level, and this is where I'm glad I took the extra workers,
you'll be able to get that all sorted.
because I need some time
Unlike
here.
me, I'm getting people eaten.
I'm also really short on money.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do it.
Well, I do get the cheaper upgrades, so I'm going to start with that. So my better tool bench, which was one of my lab upgrades, lets me upgrade my paddock capacity or increase security level by 1 at a discount. So a discount of 2, it would cost me 2, which means that costs me nothing. I will go again at a discount of 1, so that upgrade would cost me 3. Minus 1 is 2. That would be my last $2.
Hello from Russia. Thank you for joining.
Well, hello. That leaves me with no money. I would happily pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Are you serious?
I'm
This is
totally
wow,
serious.
that's a problem.
So I think another action will be sending one of my scientists down here to venture capital to get me some money. That'll be a research grant for the scientist. So that gets me $3 again.
He's just tossing money.
Yeah, and then I don't want anybody. Do I want anybody to get eaten?
Well, you know, join the club. There's nothing you can do. You're gonna get some money out of it at least. So.
I think the money's more important. I hate to say that, but
Rhino 23. Yes, there needs to be an expansion for the amount of people eaten. Like to. Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds really bad, but I just tend to have a lot eaten in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I need the money, because if I upgrade my security once more, it will cost me all $3, and that doesn't leave me much. I'll get some from the park phase. I'll get some money from that. But things can get quite expensive here, so I think I am just going to send another scientist to get some more research money. That's another $2.
Mark, you should do it. If you're thinking of doing a channel, don't worry so much about what other people think. It's what you think, and I think you'd be fantastic. So go for it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right?
There you go. Okay. That is the worker phase. So now we're on to the park phase. You're first, so would you like to go ahead and grab some visitors?
All right, how many do I get now?
You're at an excitement level of 5 with that fancy
Okay,
new dinosaur
no
you have in there.
hooligans.
Hold
Okay, I gotta
on.
do these. Oop. Did I forget to do something?
2. Actually, you should be an excitement level of 4.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yes, 4. How did I
Yeah.
get to 5?
Not sure.
Okay, weird.
Okay,
I must have
so
been too far ahead.
You're at 4.
Because I pulled 2
Nope.
last time.
No, that's my mistake.
Yes,
3
it's
here.
3.
Yes.
I'm like, well,
Back
now,
at 5.
wait
Okay.
a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, I see
Okay.
what's happening in this game here. All right. 1. Yahoo! 2.
So
Yahoo!
yellow ones are good. Purple ones are bad.
3. Oh! 4. Okay, come on, yellow. Yes!
Nice. Okay.
So I feel like I need to do that like hockey air punch.
So now I get 4. There's 3. Well, that's 3 yellow. There's 4. So I did pull. Can we see that on the? Yes, you can totally see that. I did get a hooligan. However, here is where my PR guy really comes in handy. So I'll show this again. This is the specialist that I hired. I get to draw 3 extra visitors and then return any 2 to the bag.
Well, look at you.
Which means I will net 1 extra visitor, but it also allows me to get those hooligans back out of my park. So I get to pull 3 more. There's 2, and 1 more is 3, and then I return any 2. So that hooligan is gone. That's fantastic. PR guy is paying for himself now. So they are going to go in line. Any hooligans, again, would be at the front of the line. We get $1 for each person in our line.
Oh, yes, I should space them out. I have a tendency to put them together. They're close talkers.
You probably want just a $5 because you have so much money sitting over there.
I'm so rich.
I'm going to take the singles. So there's my 5. And then they're going to enter your park if you have the spots for them.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
There we go. They don't have enough room.
Same here. So we're at the exact same amount because you can only put 1 visitor per dinosaur. And then we've got in our hat shop, and then we have 1 left over. Now, this is where we then look at our security level. So we'll cover yours first because you're first player.
Yep.
So you currently have a threat level of 4 in your park, plus 2 makes it 6, with a security level of 4, which means she's down by 2.
Womp, womp.
2 people get eaten.
Well, the hat shop's going
Yep,
first.
hat shop is always first.
That's so
You think the hat shop is safe, but it is not.
Can I kill my person in the line?
No.
Darn
So
it. I
when
knew
you
that.
are when
I
you
knew
are
that.
when you are killing people, it must be those yellow ones inside your park before anybody in line and before any hooligans. So you can't even feed the hooligans to the dinosaurs, which is unfortunate.
I know. I knew that, but I thought I'd throw it out
Yes.
there anyway.
So 2 came out,
Yeah.
which means you lose 2 points, and you are red. So down 2.
But I still have points for these,
Yep,
right?
we'll cover that in a second.
Perfect.
So then I'm going to look at mine. I have a threat level of 4, plus the temporary increase of 2 puts it at 6. My security level is 5. 1 person gets eaten. You know it's going to be the hat shop. He's gone. And because I did lose 1, I then lose a point. Now we look at however many are remaining. So you've got 2 left in your park. They get a point each, puts you back at 12. I have 3 in my park. That puts me at 15.
Yes.
Okay. Then we go back to the cleanup. So resetting turn order. Turn order will stay the same because, again, that's in reverse order based on victory points. So Mandi would be first. I'm second. Then we refresh the market. Not a lot got taken. So that $2 tier gets removed.
Pretty dry.
Put those over there. Everything else is just going to slide up. And then we refill the rest.
All right, anything good? It's looking kind of poor over here. Not really what I'm looking for.
All right, new dino recipe. So we have a new large carnivore coming into play.
Indeed. Oh, I guess we gotta vacate the premises.
Returning workers and scientists come back.
Shortly. Oh yes.
I need to get some more workers.
No, you don't. You're fine. Pshaw.
All right, removing our visitors. So they all go back to the bag.
Indeed. Indubitably. Oh, jeez.
And then we resolve our plot twists. So again, the first plot twist is we each get to take 1 advanced DNA of our choice. I will take
I'll
the
take
green.
A green.
Yep. And then the second one is we get 1 of those 3 upgrades of our choice. So it is paddock, security level, or 2 basic DNA.
Well, I think security level is going to be
Yeah.
somewhat of an issue for me next round, so that's going to be my choice. Are you even considering this? What are you thinking about? Actually, I know what you're thinking about. He wants to upgrade his paddock. I know.
I do.
Yep, there it is.
So the reason is the paddock level right now of this paddock is level 3. To go to level 4, it would cost me 4 coins. To increase my security level, it would cost me 3 coins. So it's a saving of $1,
Right.
which in a game like this could make a difference.
Makes
so
a difference.
I'll save $1 that way.
For me, it was a wash. So
So now that is level 4. I could have up to 4 dinosaurs in that paddock.
Mhm.
We covered the upgrade, so now we're carrying on. So just as a reminder, The objectives is what will trigger the end game.
And
So we have
chugging
3
along.
objectives, because again, the objectives are based on the number of players plus 1. And the last round is once all but one objective is claimed. And once an objective is claimed, nobody else can claim that objective unless it's during the same phase, because some of the phases are done simultaneously or concurrently. So it is possible for multiple people to get the same objective, but only within the same phase. Once that's it, nobody else can get that objective. So I'll just run through these again because we're kind of getting close to that. Build 1 attraction of each type: food, merchandise, and rides, which we haven't actually built any attractions. Buy 4 lab upgrades. We're both at 3. Earn 7 VPs from dinosaur exhibits in a single round. So now that you've seen how the park works, I just received 3 points from dinosaurs, and it does specifically state from dinosaur exhibits. So any rides or restaurants wouldn't count towards that objective. So that's what we're looking to do. Once 2 of those 3 have been claimed, that's the last round. So you're first. Give 'em a
Oh,
roll.
yes, I get to roll. Roll. I feel like I legitimately rolled the exact same thing. Seriously. I feel like it's almost the same.
Almost.
It's not, but
We do have a 3 out there, so it's a slightly different one, but
yikes, that's a problem.
and you're first.
That's a big problem. Yuck. Okay, well, that's not an issue yet, although it might be. Oh boy, I gotta think carefully here about what I want to do. I think that I will. I could do that. I really want to get rid of that super crazy threat, but I also want that. I'm going to take this.
Okay.
I actually don't need all 3. I just need 2.
But it is a form of denial as well. You're preventing me from getting
Yes, because I'm looking at your board and
I do need all 3.
I know you do need all 3.
Thanks for that.
Sorry.
All right, welcome to worker placement, right? Okay.
But that does leave.
Okay, I am going to boy. Ah, boy.
Well, you got some money to play with, so
Yeah.
you don't sound too thrilled by it.
No. I'm gonna. I kind of revealed my. Oh no, actually,
not
no.
really.
You don't even need any of that. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to use my level 3 scientist to increase 3 limiters within my cold storage. I'll go 1. Two. 3. Yep.
Okay. All right. What do I want to do now? That is the question. So I could do that. So right now, that'll go up. Yikes, that's a problem. Well, I don't really. I could just do that. That doesn't bother me one iota. Okay. So I will use this. 1, 2 to
Okay.
take 2 of that pinkish purple basic DNA.
Yep, and I'm going to go here, so I'm going to get 4 of those.
Yeah, nice.
Now that I have the increased limit in the cold storage.
All right, and I think that I will pass.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll pass too.
All right.
All right, so over to you for the market.
All right.
Oh, before we do that though.
Yes.
1 pip.
Yeah.
So threat level goes
not
up
too
1.
bad. Not too bad. All right. This is a couple. So I might actually implement this. Once per game, you may search for any one face-down marketplace item and put it into play for $4 plus additional cost for attractions.
Okay.
Yeah. For any one. Oh, marketplace item. Yes.
Yep.
And I just pay extra if it's for an attraction.
Yep.
I gotta ponder this now because I feel like I could have a specialist that I might want. And how does that work out of curiosity? Oh, it's gonna cost me 4 regardless. Or I can do something in here. Or I can do an attraction, which kind of would be toward that, but I feel like we're past that point. For me to start building attractions, it's going to be quite expensive at this point. So I think what I could do, something to help me with my security level would be quite useful. Do we have a count on how many of those are in those types of upgrades are in the game?
I do not know.
Yikes, I'm doing this blind. Blind,
Well,
I say.
Once per game, you may search for any one.
Face down marketplace item.
It doesn't say name it first.
No, it doesn't.
So I think you can just go through and pick one.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to go through, but I don't necessarily want to go through that pile, and it may not have what I want. I'm looking for a specific tile.
Sure.
However, I'm almost wondering if getting more workers is better at this point. So you know what? I'm actually going to do specialist action.
Sure.
Why not? So I get to go through here. Okay.
And that doesn't even say that it's as an action. So I think
Nope.
you just.
This is just in addition to.
Yep.
Oh, well, I'm kind of glad I did that. Sorry, I'm taking a moment here to peruse. So potentially I could get a couple workers, or I could just place a worker and treat it as +1 security for that particular round. I don't have to pay for it at least, which is nice. So many decisions. So you know what? I think I'm actually going to take this card here. So I don't know if you want to shuffle this or... So basically, security guard 3, you may assign a worker to this card to treat your security level as +1 for the round.
Okay.
And in addition,
Yep. You get another worker.
I get another worker. And
Security guard, very nice.
I pay $4 for that. Well worth it.
And it's still your action.
Oh, look at that. Woohoo! Now I'm like, I don't want to buy anything because I'm broke. You may place 1 patron on this card each round to score. Oh, that's kind of nice. Yeah. So you know what? Let's toss a couple bucks that way.
Sure.
And we'll take that. And that's actually going to be my last specialist for the game. Well, unless I decide to cover it up.
So yeah, you're limited to 3 specialists, as for the 3 spots that I was mentioning on the side of your lab. You can fire specialists if you wish to buy another one, but you lose whatever the ability is, including any extra workers. So for example, that first specialist that Mandi had hired did bring an extra worker. If she was to fire that specialist, she would have to return the worker that it brought. Okay. Well then.
Got a nice selection there.
Not really.
I know, but I'm trying to stay positive.
I wish I had your ability of
Positivity.
just dig for whatever you want.
I thought at first when I bought it, I'm like, that's not really going to help me, and I was going to kind of go toward this strategy, but at this point, I've kind of abandoned that for the moment. They're very expensive.
$2 gets me the renovation committee. So this lets me upgrade paddocks a little cheaper because I can upgrade paddock capacity by 1 at no cost, which is nice.
Which is also going to do something else for you.
Yes, it will. So that is the 4th upgrade to my lab. That is one of the objectives. So that's what these tokens are for. You've got a bunch of these tokens in the colors of your corporation, and you put that token on the objective that you just completed.
So really, in essence, I don't really need to refine DNA because I get what I need. But if I wanted to get that other objective, to get this objective that you've done, I would have to do it right now.
Yeah.
And the chances are that's probably going to be the only one that I'll probably be able to do, because points I think are going to be a bit difficult for me at this point. So I'm going to, let's see here.
So as I was saying earlier, with these objectives, once somebody takes one, they cannot be taken by anybody else unless it is during the same phase. So in this case, Mandi has one action left where she can purchase one of these upgrades to make it for. The tricky situation that she's in is she will have to actually lose one of the ones that she has right now.
Ooh, or
do you have $5 to do? Oh, you do. I didn't see the 5. I only saw the 3. Okay.
So I will spend that 5
Sure.
to take a refined DNA.
Now you only have 3.
Now I only have 3.
Okay. So Mandi gets to claim that as well.
So
let's say there were other players at the table and that was the end of the phase. That's it. Nobody else can claim that, even if they were to achieve that goal later on. Okay. So I still get one more purchase. Oh, boy.
It's not a great board right now, I will say.
No, this is tough. I would like extra workers, but I don't like the abilities on them.
Right. Mind you, for...
That's okay. This, I don't have any restaurants,
Right,
so
so
the chef doesn't do me any good. So I think I might go for the builder. I want extra workers. So that'll cost me 4. Am I leaving myself short? Hold on. No, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Commit. Okay.
I'll do it.
So I'm getting the builder. So here's my next specialist. So you can see it does bring in an extra worker, and that was my main goal. And this also gives me the ability of upgrading a paddock capacity by 2, paying the second cost instead of by 1 at the tool bench.
Which is great.
So that is the exception that I had mentioned earlier, where the paddocks you normally can only increase 1 at a time. That actually lets you skip a level, paying the second cost, which is nice. Okay, so then we are on to our labs. You're still first player, so you can go ahead.
All right. I might
that
need
gets me
some
an extra worker. So.
time to consider this here. So, yeah. All right. So first things first, I'm going to need to acquire some advanced DNA. So I'm going to get some of the pink and a yellow.
Okay.
So that brings me up to that. I definitely am going to need money. That is no question. Especially the way that I'm going.
Money can be tight, for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, so I definitely want to assign a worker here to treat my security level as a +1 for the round.
Okay. So that's a free temporary increase.
Correct.
Yep.
Then, I gotta think about this for a second here.
Yep.
Okay, it's doable, not ideal, but doable. It's leaving me tight. Okay, so I'm going to... Oh, hold the phone here. Hold the phone.
You'll need a larger paddock to get one of those.
Yeah, so I need to do some maths here. Just a moment. I got to do the maths.
Math and also the order that you do things in is very important.
So the paddocks at the next level are 2?
You're at a 1 right now.
Right,
so
1,
yeah, it's
so it's 2
it's
coins?
$1 for each level. So
Okay.
2 is 2, 3 is 3, 4 is 4.
So right now, technically I'm at 6, but according to that, I'll go up 2 and then another 1. So then I'll have to pay 4. I need to make sure I have enough money. Oh, I do. Just. Oh, that's crazy talk. Okay, so let's start with, let's create a dinosaur.
Sure.
So we're going to create one of the...
Not yet, because you can only fit one
paddock.
in there. Yep.
Paddock. I just said that. So
and
let
that's
us
where
do
the order is important.
our paddock,
Yep.
which is going to now increase that to 2.
Okay.
And I have to pay 2. Let's do that first. Then we can create our dinosaur. Correct. Sorry, a minute there to read that. And I'm going to spend 2 of the darker purple basic, a green, a pink, and a yellow, which will give me another one of these fellers.
And what are they called?
No idea. We're going to go with the S something.
All right. I think you had it right. I think it's right.
So that's going to increase my my threat level by 2.
Yep.
It'll also increase my excitement level by 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm so stuck on security because that's all I can think about. And I have my one lone worker, which I can. Oh, I just realized I actually had enough money to increase my security level by 1.
Which is $3, leaving you $1.
$1.
Very nice.
It's not ideal, but.
Okay, so over to me. Let me see. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a dinosaur, but I'm only creating the basic dinosaur.
Okay.
So that just costs 2 of any basic DNA. I'll just go 1, 2. So that gets me another one of these guys. My paddock level is at 4, so I can still fit one more in after this. My excitement level goes up 1, and my threat level goes up 1. And because that was so fun, I'm going to do that again. 2, I'll do that one and that one. Gets me one more of those, so that's maxed out at 4. Excitement level up 1.
Okay, that's all right.
Threat level up 1. Now I need to do something about this threat level.
Yeah, I'm still getting someone eaten. I tried, but.
So I will, using my better tool bench, increase by 1 at a discount of 2. So instead of paying 3, I only have to pay 1. And I still have a problem. Yeah, I still have a problem. But I have many workers.
I'm glad to see we had a lot of people in the chat from around the world. I know people are there. They don't usually say anything, but this is great.
It's nice to see, for sure.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I know it's late in some places, so thank you.
But early in others, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I like that Nerfenstein is in Australia. It's actually working hours, and she normally, when she's showing up, that would be that would be during the day for her. Yeah.
I think she's already gone actually back to work.
And that's understandable. Okay, I'm going to increase the paddock capacity, or the paddock level here. So it's at 1. I would normally have to pay 2 to get to level 2, but with my builder, I can upgrade by 2, paying the second cost. So from 1, nice. I'm going to go straight to 3, paying 3, which that's all my monies.
Hey, we're here in good company.
So with that being all my monies, I think I'm going to send a scientist down here, get a little research grant.
It's morning in Taipei. What?
Well, good morning.
Really good morning.
That leaves me 2. Let's see here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use one guy here, upgrade paddock capacity by 1 at no cost.
You might as well.
So that puts me right to 4, and I only had to pay $3 to do it.
That's great.
I don't mind that. Now the question is, will I get any dinosaurs in there to cover that? We'll see.
You probably will. I don't see. I mean, to earn 7 VPs, I'm thinking. So for those of you watching, generally a medium game is still not overly lengthy. We play 2 back-to-back medium games in under 3 hours for sure.
Oh yeah. Probably even closer to 2.
But in here we're explaining and we're chatting. So I actually think we're going to be approaching the end in a few rounds, I should say.
My last action is going to be, again, taking the monies.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so now we go to our park. Visitors come to visit.
All right, what are we at? 8. That's overkill. And then I do have a card here that I can place a patron on for a victory point.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
6.
That's ridiculous.
7. No!
There we go.
8. Ah, you had to jinx me.
That was a crazy draw.
Well,
okay.
I'm getting someone eaten on top of it.
I'm only getting 6, but my PR guy will get to change that a little bit.
Yeah, which is nice.
There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which that's great. They're all paying. You're
fine. You're good.
And then my PR guy, again, lets me draw 3 extra and then put any 2 back to the bag. So that hooligan, goodbye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, it's cutting in line, that hooligan.
So again, they all come into line, and you get paid for every non-hooligan. Every paying customer will get you $1. So you've got
1,
7.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And then I also have 7.
Yep.
So we each get $7.
Better than a kick in the teeth.
There you go.
Thank you.
Welcome. And then they come into your park, and this is the first time that you'll see a hooligan coming in, I think. So the hooligan actually goes in first. They butt in line, and they take that spot, which also means that's one less victory point that you're going to earn because they're taking up one of those victory point spots.
But I do get to place one here on my specialist, and then I get to place 1, 2 here.
Yep.
And a whole 2 here.
Okay. So then we look at the security level. So you've got a threat level of 6 plus 1 is 7, but you have a security level of 6 plus 1 is 7. Very nice. So
Yes.
breaking even, nobody gets eaten.
Which is nice.
It'll be different for me. It'll be different for me. So I have a threat level of 6 plus 1 is 7. I have a security level of 6. Nothing changed there. So somebody does get eaten, and as I've said before, Hat Shop always struck first.
I don't know why. Poor Aisha.
Which, because I did lose one customer, I do lose a point. But then we look at how many points we have remaining in our park. So you've got 4 points there. Plus 1 is 5. Very nice.
Correct.
17. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Puts me at 19.
There you go. So not too bad.
All right. So then we go on to cleanup. Resetting turn order is going to remain the same. It's a close game, though.
Yep.
Then we are refreshing the market. So that top level goes first. Everything else moves up. And refill.
Oh.
Dino
Yeah.
Hunter is nice.
I'm like, I love how that came out now.
Yeah.
Although at this point, I could no. Well, yeah, I've already used that. So.
Yeah. You'd lose the worker,
But if
then you get it back.
Exactly.
Yep.
If I decided to go that route.
Yep. And then we would show any new dinosaur recipes, but we didn't actually buy any last round,
think
so
we're,
that's fine.
Yikes.
Returning workers and scientists.
Alrighty. So that's me.
That's right.
Yeah, that's okay.
Visitors go back in the bag.
All right. Oops. There we go.
Okay. And then resolving the plot twist. So again, we've got each player gets 1 advanced DNA of your choosing.
So I know people are mentioning the length. To be fair, it really isn't long. With 2
No.
players, it goes pretty quickly. It's just because we had a lot of rules, explanation, and things
Yep.
beforehand, and we were kind of chatting. So normally, it is not this long.
Never judge any of the games that we do for teach and plays based on the teach and play itself, because we are teaching as we go along, which takes some time, and interacting with everybody that's watching as well, which is fun to do. So it usually takes a bit longer to do these. So did you take 1 advanced? So right now we're doing plot twist cards.
Yes, so I got to take an advanced. I mean, at this
Taking
point,
a
it
yellow.
really doesn't matter. So I guess I'll take a pink.
Okay.
And
then we get 1 of the 3 upgrades. So once again, it'll be increasing security at no cost, 1 level, increasing a paddock level at no cost, or taking any 2 basic DNA.
So I think I will increase my security level for 1.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I
it's
will
getting
do
a
the
little
same.
expensive, to be honest, at this point.
And scary.
That too. Okay, so
Okay.
I need to re-roll these.
Yep. So Mandy's still first player. She gets to roll the dice.
All right, well, we roll that. It's cocked. All right, there we go. Well, a lot of 3s. Well, 2 3s. That's enough for me to... Meh.
All right. And you're first.
All right, so I think... Yeah, it's pretty full up on all those things. It's not dire, really. So at this point, I think that I will go with... What do I want to do? I don't really know what I want to do. Now I'm just being silly. I think I'm going to go here. Stegosaurus! Okay. And yeah, that's what's going to happen there.
Now, at this point, I will mention something else that has to do with end game scoring, because we're getting close to that point. Mandy's bought a new recipe. If you have any empty paddocks on those new purchases at the end of the game, you're actually going to lose points.
Right.
So you want to make sure if you grab one of those recipes, that you get at least one dinosaur in there. Otherwise, you're going to take a hit.
It will be a problem, exactly.
Okay. What do we have? What do I need? Huh.
That's very thoughtful.
Yeah. Interesting. Not a fan. Okay.
Not a fan of the dice, or not a fan of my last move, or both?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. I will go. 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that would be a waste. I'm going to go here. So I'm going to get 4 of those basic DNA. 2, 3, 4.
I will pass.
Okay. Okay. Well then. Okay.
I don't think I like where this is going. What's the matter?
We're gonna have a problem with security.
Yeah, because it's gonna be
Because
huge.
if you're not taking anything from here, then it's gonna be a 3.
Yeah. I thought it
So
might be a 3.
I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 3 of these. And then I will pass with my last one.
Yep.
All right, onto the market.
All right.
Actually, so then one of these do come over.
Yep.
And because this is one of the dice left behind, those 3 red pips at the bottom means temporarily this round our threat level goes up by 3. So we will need the security level to match.
Well, that's kind of cool at this point. Might as well. So I'm going to actually spend 5.
Okay.
Well, 4. So to get the
Okay.
Dino
I was going to say,
Hunter.
really? That's
Sorry.
you're not going after that?
Dino
Okay.
Hunter, yeah. So, because I mean, this is really no good to me at this
Yeah,
point.
I wish I was going first to be able to pick this. The Dino Hunter. So you can see he's got his sniper rifle ready. It brings in another worker, which is great. And 1 less visitor is eaten in your park each round. So he's going to snipe a dinosaur that's on the loose to be able to save.
So basically,
one of
that
your
is now
patrons.
out, but I'm not
Yeah.
losing a worker because I would have been gaining one. Here.
So the way that works is she has fired the specialist.
You're done. You've done your job.
Which means this worker would actually go back to the general supply. However, the card that Mandi just hired does bring a worker back. So it's a net result of being even.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, really wish I could have grabbed that one.
Dinos are hungry. Everyone's like, feed the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I don't like how this is progressing.
What are you talking about? I have no clue as to what you're saying right now.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, can I?
Wow, that's a doozy. Okay, I better not do that. So this game is it's ramping up now at this point.
It is.
So those watching, you probably have a good indication of what's happening.
I'm trying to math things out a little bit here. So excuse me for 1 second.
While you're mathing out, this game reminds me so much the color scheme of this game. If anyone knows the game Varney, or the name brand Varney, I talk about it all the time because it's legitimately a memory from childhood. But if you remember that, that's amazing. But that's what the color scheme reminds me of.
Here we go.
All right.
$5. So, like I said at the start of the game, when I was explaining the actions here, you can purchase anything in these rows. You can purchase these, but you can also purchase DNA. You can buy DNA straight up. So when you do that, 2 for 2, any 2 basic, 3 for any 3 basic, 4 for any 1 advanced, or 5 for any 2 advanced. I am taking that action. But when you do one of those actions, you then discard something from the corresponding row as well. So for $5, I'm taking any 2 advanced DNA. I'm taking a green and a yellow, which puts me up to the max in both. And then I need to discard one of those 3 items in that row.
Mm-hmm.
And I will discard the photos. So that is out. All right, second purchase.
I will not be making a second purchase.
So you're passing. So
That
that
is
is
correct.
one of the other options during the market phase. You can pass. You get $2.
Thank you.
I will not pass.
Fine then.
Just finishing off a little bit more mathing here. For $3, I'm going to get 3 basic DNA. 2. 3.
All right.
And then I discard something in that row. Goodbye, wooden roller coaster. All right.
All right.
So then we're on to our lab phase. You're first player, so you can go first.
All right. So we'll start with the money situation. All right. So I need another $3 or 3 coins. And I'll start off by taking another worker to upgrade my paddock for my new area here. So that's going to be another, that's going to be 2. Thank you. Then I will go here to gain a green DNA. And I will go to my gaining an advanced DNA and going to gain another. Then I will go to creating a dinosaur, and I will create one of my new dinosaurs, which is going to take a green, one of these pinky toned colors, and a blue, an icy blue color, and we'll just, well, it says Stegosaurus, so we might as well be consistent.
Sure, I have more over here.
Yes, I may have to
I'm
still.
not using them. I'll give you some Stegosaurus
thanks.
for mine.
So we'll put that in there, which gives me an excitement level of 2.
Very nice.
I'll let you do that. And I also have to do an increase of my threat level, but it's only 1, so it's not so bad.
Not bad.
And I will create another dinosaur, the exact same one.
Okay.
And I will take a green, a pink, and a blue to do that. And that will increase my excitement by another 2.
Yeah.
And my threat
It's getting exciting.
by another 1. Well, we all know it's going to happen, but it is what it is. Okay, that was a lot happening there. So at this point, I'm going to, what do I need? So I need to do this. So I could put a worker here.
Yeah. So right now the
It's
temporary
so high.
threat level is
I'm for sure getting people
very
eaten.
threatening. Yeah.
Yeah. So technically I'm here, but I need another 3, which is not going to happen. So, but I do have this. 1 less visitor is eaten in your park each round.
Yep.
So that will offset
That's
something.
nice.
So I could technically pay for 1 level to avoid that. Because right now, if I do this to a 1, technically made 8. 1, 2, 3. I'm still getting 1 less. Well, it's not so bad. Okay, sorry. Thinking in my head here. Yeah. So I could just pay 1 more, and then I won't lose. So we're going to increase security by 1.
Okay.
Paying 4. That is the end of my turn.
Okay.
Not super exciting, but it's something.
But it's more than something. You're getting a lot of excitement, which means you're going to get a lot of visitors coming.
Yes. As long as no hooligans
So
come out.
here's what I'm looking at. I'm worried about what Mandy's got going on here. I only have 2 types of dinosaurs. I'm going to try and see. I think I have enough. I'm going to try and get that objective and just end it this round if I can. But hooligans could really mess that up because I only have 1 swing space, because to get that objective, it's earned 7 points from dinosaurs, which means I need 7 dinosaurs so I can get the 7 visitors in there. If I pull 2 hooligans that come in, that screws up that plan.
Yeah.
So you're at 6.
I'm at 6.
So I know I will have at least 1 more round.
6, but I'm going to get someone eaten.
But if I can end it now,
Potentially.
we'll see what happens. So that's my goal. Now, can I pull that off? I don't know. And my threat level is going to be off the chart to do this.
Actually,
But I'm going to try it.
Oh, I'm only going to get one person eaten. That's not so bad.
Okay, so let's see here. I have more than enough DNA.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to create a dinosaur. That will require one of these, green, and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
That gets me one of the long neck guys. Excitement goes up 2. Threat level goes up 2.
Yeah, but
that's where I like yours better.
Where?
Your excitement's going up 2, but your threat level's only going up 1.
Right, that's the only reason why I opted for that versus this one, because I was like, that's a lot.
And that puts me at 6. I need at least 7, so I'm going to do that once more and then see exactly how bad it goes. So another one of those, another one of those, another green, and another yellow. Gets me one more. Threat level excitement level goes up 2. Threat level goes up 2. And now I'm behind by 6 with $4.
But you can get workers and get some money.
That's funny. Okay.
You can get $6 more. Yeah.
Yeah, now I think I just need to, because at this point, they'll just end up all dying. Oh, yeah, things have gone horribly wrong here. Okay, well, let's see. I'll get some money first.
You might as well.
And
go for gold.
Some money second. So that's going to get me 5.
Right.
Then I will upgrade my security at a discount of 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that only costs me $2.
Okay, see, so you're moving up.
And then I'll increase my security again at a discount of 1. That will cost me $4.
Okay, so you're doing all right.
Not really. I'm still off by 4, which means 4 people will get eaten in my park.
That is a lot,
so
actually.
I'm not going to make it. I've tried to push to get the 7. I won't make it this round. But I do have the 7 dinosaurs, so hopefully the next round, if I get my security level up, they might survive. We'll see.
Right.
All right, so that's me done. That's that. That's fine. So we're on to the park. You're first. In come the visitors.
Yeah, so I would really like to not pull purple people, but what can I do? There's nothing I can do. So let's start off here. There's 2, 4.
That's a good start. And you're pulling
6. There's 1.
12. Wow.
8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Come on, that's not bad though.
No, that's not bad at all.
That's not
okay.
bad. It's not
Very
great,
good. Yeah.
but it's not bad.
All right, and I am only getting 10 to start. There's 5. 8.
Yeah, come on, that's a great pull.
10.
You got even
That's
less
pretty
than
good.
I did.
And then my PR guy gets me 3 more.
Look at that.
And I return any 2.
Nice.
So I do not have any hooligans in my park. This is a hooligan-free park. So then we get money for each paying customer.
I think some of mine are doing cartwheels
so
here.
I think you're getting 10. You pulled 12 and you
correct.
have 2 hooligans. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is correct.
And I pulled 10, but I get an extra 1 with my PR guy, so I actually have 11 here. Yep. So you get 10.
Thank you.
Welcome. And I get 11.
All right.
Okay, then we go into the park.
Well, that's unfortunate. You're going to go in the hats, and then one of you is going to go here. One of you is going to go on this person here.
And this is where it would have been nice to also have attractions in your park, because that would give more room for the people that are waiting in line.
Yep.
But
unfortunately,
like a
it's sad
typical worker
state.
placement, you just don't have time to do everything, right? So let's look at security level.
Okay, so mine's a bit weird. So
Okay.
basically, I'm technically at 9.
Mhm.
I'm going to have 1 less eaten.
Okay. Well, we'll look at that
But-
after. So
okay.
let's see how many get eaten first.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm at 9 technically.
Yep, with a threat level of 11. So 2 people would get eaten, but because Mandy does have the Dino Hunter, 1 less gets eaten, so only 1 person comes out of your park.
Right. Boink.
Wow, so you're letting the person in the hat shop survive because
I have no choice.
You actually put the hooligan in the hat shop. All right.
Deserves to go in the hat shop.
Mine is much worse. So I have a threat level of 10 and 3 is 13. I only have a security level of 9. 4 people get eaten.
Ouch.
So before I carry on, 1 person got eaten from you.
Correct.
So down 1. 4 get eaten from me. Hat Shop, you're first. And
Yeah.
then 1, 2, 3. That was a really poorly secured paddock there.
So,
Apparently.
you know.
They all got out. Awful. So 4 people got eaten. I actually lose 4 points.
But this is where you're going to make up. Well,
Nope.
we're tied,
So
actually.
now your remaining points are 4.
Mm-hmm.
You get to 20. I have 4. That puts me also at 19.
19.
Yeah,
But we're
1
close.
point. Yep.
We're close.
So very close game at this point.
Absolutely.
So then we go on to cleanup. So resetting turn order. This is where it will change. Now that I'm actually in last, I will go to first in turn order. Refreshing the market. That top row is gone. These all move up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, lots of spaces.
Yeah, we actually did a bit of buying there.
Yeah.
And also I had bought DNA,
Right,
which
and
cleared stuff
cleared
out
some
as well.
things away.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. That was the next one coming. Ah, more workers.
2 more workers. I'll show that one. So this is one of the ones I was saying where you can actually get 2 workers, the HR manager. And that's all she does is she brings you 2 more workers. But very strong because more workers, more actions, more things you can do. Okay, that is the market, new dino recipes. We do get a new herbivore into play.
Yep.
Returning our workers and scientists.
Excellent news.
Visitors back in the bag.
Oh my goodness. I didn't realize I had so many. Oops, sorry, there you go.
That's right. And then plot twists. So 1 advanced DNA each.
Yes, so this round we're going to go with green.
I as well go with green and 1 of these upgrades. So security level, paddock level, or 2 basic DNA, no question.
Security. At this
yeah.
point, there's no.
I lost four visitors there.
Can
Definitely
the
security.
HR person get eaten?
Unfortunately, no. No, she's safe in the offices. No dinosaurs
Nope.
make it to the office.
That's
no.
it. It's not like the lawyer in Jurassic
All right.
Park.
I'm first player. I actually get to roll the dice
Yay,
for the first
maybe
time.
you'll do better rolling than I will.
Actually, no, I did roll first at the very
True.
start, but
A lot of.
that's yeah. There's only 2 types of DNA available.
Wow. Yikes. Ruh-roh.
There. And I get to go first. Well, looky.
That's a good thing.
Not when I'm already maxed out on that.
Right. Yeah, that's not great.
Huh.
Agreed. That is not ideal.
Okay. Well,
Gregorius, new employee card. The lawyer. You can discard this card to prevent a visitor from being eaten. That's great.
yeah, and he's sitting in the
The laboratoire.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I need a 3rd dinosaur. I think I need a new dinosaur recipe. So I'm going to go here and grab. I probably should have grabbed one that I know I can pronounce.
Yeah.
Pachycephalosaurus. Okay, there
Okay,
we go.
that's not
There
so
we
bad.
go. Pachycephalosaurus.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I just needed to sound it out.
I
All right.
feel like that one was easier than
Yeah.
mine.
Once I got it, that was fine.
No,
it
it's
almost
great.
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, this is not ideally great, but I need to step it up a little. So with that being said, I think I don't really need that, but I guess I could take it. Yeah, that seems a problem. So I guess we'll go here for 2.
Okay.
So 2 of that lighter blue color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I know. Just decisions.
I think I'm going to go. Poor life choices here.
So I definitely think we're within 1 or 2 rounds of completion.
Yes.
So we're close. For those of you watching, it's definitely getting to that point.
Oh boy. 3. I'm going to go... How do I do this? How do I do this? One moment, please. Please stand by.
Please stand by.
I need that, which needs that, and that. Oh, boy. Okay. I'll go here and increase 2
Cold
limiters.
storage,
Yeah, in cold storage. 1 there. 1 there.
Okay. Wow, you're putting it lots of green, I see.
I'm trying.
So what triggers the end game? 2 to 3 objective cards completed?
Yeah.
That is correct. So
in
one
the case of a 2-player game.
Right.
So the objective cards are the number of players plus 1. So if you're playing a 4-player game, then it would be 4 of the 5 available objectives to trigger the last round. So the closest one, neither of us are anywhere near the build 1 attraction. We haven't, 1 attraction of each type. We haven't built any attractions. So that's not going to happen. But this one, this one, 7 VPs from Dinosaurs,
happen.
that could happen on this round. Because I've already got 7 dinosaurs, you have 6. It's just a matter of having the visitors not get eaten to get those points.
That's right. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
So I will pass.
You're passing? Okay.
Yeah, I need all my workers for this to happen.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
And I wish I could keep it for a worker, but I'm going to get DNA instead and take 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, so I'm first at the market.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate this game? This is from Austin. I really enjoy it, to be honest. I definitely like a medium game to long game, for sure. But I find it's an easy enough game to teach, even though there's a lot going on. I find it's pretty intuitive, easy to pick up on. The theme relates to me. I'm a big fan of the color scheme, so...
I think the way that we're teaching right now is the easiest way to do it for new players. Just cover each phase as you get to it, and it is quite easy to pick up.
So I would say...
on a scale, though.
It's so
I don't
hard.
do scales.
It's like people ask me about top 10s. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would definitely be in the upwards of the 7 to 8 out of 10 for me, for sure.
I'd be feeling about the same. I'd give it a 7, 7.5. Yeah,
anywhere in between that range,
sure.
I think. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, some of the dinosaur names, Games of Fire, are so difficult to pronounce. I'm like, I don't remember those when I was in school.
Okay. Oh, boy. Do I have enough of what I need to do
in order to not lose people?
Oh, boy.
At this point, I'm like, meh.
Oh, I need that. That's
But my polls have been pretty bad.
Unfortunate. That's what I should have increased. Oops. Oh, well.
Yeah, I thought I did something wrong, too. I was like, I should have done that. Oop-a-lie.
Just not enough time, eh? All right. I'm going to hire that HR manager. I need the workers.
I was going to say, I would assume you would have done
$4.
that.
So 1 change gets me the HR manager, which gets me 2 more workers.
Which is great.
Yep.
So does that make sense? Or I can spend 4. No. 3. Oh no, it's still better. I
think the other thing that you learned from Jurassic Park is never hire any employees that play Newman.
Yeah, exactly.
Newman!
I think that I will pass.
Pass, taking $2.
That wasn't my initial thought, but I was mathing it out and I'm like, it doesn't make sense for me to do something because I'm going to spend the exact same amount of money to do it anyway. Like, it would have cost me more to do it.
So I was thinking I needed... Right, I have no choice here. Oh, I have a bit of a choice.
Because I think the one that I would have taken would not have affected you in any way.
Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is I did get that new dino recipe. I need to make sure I have the DNA for it. And right now, I am short in one of them. So I need to get that DNA. And now I realize I have 2 ways to do it. I could just straight up buy it. Unfortunately, my limit only allows me 2 more. So I would just do the $2 for 2 of any basic DNA. However, also for $2, I can get the transmogrifier. Yes, transmogrifier, which lets me exchange 1 or 2 DNA for 1 or 2 any other DNA one time. So basically it works out to the same way either way, the same thing either way. I don't really need that paddock capacity. Oh, or do I? Oh, so tough. Oh, welcome to worker placement.
So,
oh boy.
so Don's saying in regards to the rating scale, it's how BGG would rate, kind of use each number. 7 is good, usually willing to play. 8, very good. Will suggest it to others and won't turn down a game. I definitely would say if you're using that scale, I would classify it for myself as an 8.
I'd still be in the 7 to 7.5 if we can use halves.
Yeah, I'd be, if according to this scale,
Yeah.
8. But if it just is a regular number, 7 to 8 would be where I am.
That, there.
I'm buying you some time to...
Okay. Yeah, so I should stop responding to stuff and just think
Yes.
instead. Okay, sorry. Thank you for getting me the time, but then I like interacting. I just don't get to very often.
No,
Okay,
that's
so for
okay.
$2, it's one or the other. I haven't... Oh, I will need that, though. What do I get rid of if I do this? Okay, so I'm going to take that upgrade, and I'm putting it over top of one of my others, which means I lose that upgrade that I had purchased previously. But I think that's the way to go. Whew. Okay, sorry for the delay there. Now, on to phase 3. We're looking at our labs. I'll go first because I am first player.
While you're doing that,
so
I'm preparing to see
Yep.
what I need to do. Yikes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely some people are going to get eaten, I think.
So first thing is I will use that transmogrifier. I'll show that because I did purchase it. I'll see what I've got going on here. So transmogrifier, exchange 1 or 2 DNA for 1 or 2 other DNA of the same rarity, and it has just the 1 space. So you can only do it 1 time per round. And I am going to do that, and I'm going to exchange 2 of these. Uh-oh.
What's wrong? Stop saying that.
I've put myself in a bad spot.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wait, before we
need
continue,
green.
we've gone to move here.
Yes, thank you.
It's going to be a 2.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Green. To get green, I need that and that. Which is exactly what I need for... Oh, that is a tricky recipe. That is not... Wow.
Which one did you get? The green?
Well, it's green and 2 of these basic. To get green, using the refinement, it is those 2.
Okay.
It's one of those 2.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, this is... I'm just looking at my threat level. It's a problem. I don't think I've ever had it this far before. This high. Yikes.
Shoot. Okay, hold on. And I have none of those. Now I'm regretting this. I should have just done 2 DNA. Regrets.
Regrets.
Okay.
I'm just debating about something myself. Yikes. I would save me an action.
Okay, so I'm going to go those 2 for 2 of those. Let's see if that works out. So I will then create... Let's do the paddock first. Upgrade paddock capacity at a discount of 2, and I'm going to the 2nd level, so that's even. Then I will create a dinosaur using one of these, and a green. Gets me, I'll get one of these humpy guys there, which increases my excitement level by 2. Increases my threat level by 1, so I'm up to 11, and that's what these markers are for
Wow.
here.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen these come into play, but I'll be joining you shortly.
Okay, and then I will have to worry about security. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, security upgrade needed. I agree.
Yeah. Okay, I'll start working on security next. So I will increase my security level at a discount of 1. So as I said, anything beyond 10 is still going to be $5 per level. So these numbers along the side are no longer in play once you get to the 10 plus. So I'm going up to 11, so I do get that. And instead of 5, it'll cost me 4 because of my discount. And we have a temporary increase of 2 for threat, which means I need at least 2 more. Oh no!
It's so hard because it's just going crazy.
I'm not going to be able to get as many dinos as I thought I was going to be able to. Money gets me 3. Security, $5 gets me 1. That leaves me 1 worker, which isn't enough. Yeah, I've done some upgrades that I really regret here. And $2. I can no longer create dinosaurs with the DNA I have. There just wasn't enough time. All right, I'm just going to take $2 more.
Okay.
Ah, awful. All right.
I still don't even really 100% know what I'm doing, so we'll just start with what I know 100% that I'm doing. Got everything?
Yeah. I just
Gonna
regretting things.
upgrade this.
I had all these plans and then just not enough
That's
time
what
to do
happens
them.
to me all the time. So I'm going to upgrade this
Okay.
from a 3.
Okay.
Sorry, that should go there.
Yep.
To a 4. And I have to pay $4. And then take that. Put those back there. And then... Yeah, I feel like that might be the way to go. It's not the best way to go, but it's something. All right, so next I'm going to create a dinosaur, but we're just going to do it here. So low-level dinosaur.
Yep.
That's going to be 2 of any basic DNA.
Yep.
So I've done that, increase my threat level by 1, add a Stegosaurus here, and excitement increases by 1. And then I will do the same thing. So create another dinosaur, because I have that space to do so.
Yep.
And I need to get rid of 2 DNA. I'm really hard pressed to do that, but I think I'm going to. All right, so we'll get rid of this light blue and this pinky one to make another Stegosaurus. Just going to increase my threat level by 1.
Yep.
Excitement by 1. Wow, that's a problem. But that's full up. Nothing else is going to happen there. And yeah, I don't think I should increase my threat level any further. That's a problem. So from this point, I guess, I'm going to, just in case, collect some money from the bank. 1, 2, 3. And now I got to start working on other things. So I'm going to place this here so I can assign, so I'm assigning a worker here to increase my security by 1.
Yep.
But I have to remember this is going to add 2 from this.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a problem. So I'm going to need some of these tokens here.
Yep. That's for the increase to threat level. And that's
Thank you.
Security level.
So basically, I'm going to have to pay 5. So actually, let's place a worker first here to increase that. So pay 5 for that. And then this is actually still going to go up to 2 here. So, oh my goodness, it's like another 10. Although one less visitor is eaten in my park.
Yep.
So technically, I only have to pay another 5, really, because I still have this, which gives me +1. And then I would really just have to pay for another. Actually, I just have to pay for another 1. What am I thinking? Because that's going to go up to 2. That's going to go up here. Go to this. So I need to pay for 1 more. So it's another 5, really. So I could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to increase security yet again. So we'll move you up here. And I do have one more worker left. And I think at this point, I think I'll just take some money.
Okay.
Just in case. Just in case. Okay. All right. I think I've managed to place them all.
Okay. Then we go into the park, and I'm first, so
Yes.
I will be drawing from here. So I'm at an excitement level of 12, and I have my PR guy. 5.
I feel like it's not always
That's
a
a
good
good
thing
start.
picking out a ton of people, because then you're just more likely to pick up hooligans. And the fact that you're going first does
10.
not make me feel better about that.
And I'm getting good picks, too.
Yeah, so I'm going to get all the hooligans.
That's 12.
Yep, there
And
it is.
then I get 3 more.
Please be purple, because if not, they're coming my way.
Well, even if they are purple, they're going back, and I get
But
to
it's
put
only
2 back.
one, so wow.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, if you were playing, say, a 4-player game, I played a 4-player game where if you're last to pick, and people have abilities like this where they get to throw stuff back in, you know that that's going to be more saturated with the hooligans at that point, and you get really scared having to draw from that bag
So
last.
2, 4, 6, 8. Here we go. 10, 12, 14. Okay, not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad.
Okay,
Alright.
so I pulled 12 plus 1 from my PR guy, so I'm going to get $13 for that. And then you pulled 14, 2 of them are hooligans.
Correct.
So you'll get 12. And money will be worth points at the end of the game at a rate of 5 to 1.
Yeah, so it's something.
All right, then they come into your park.
Yep. Well, might as well situate you over here in the best place ever. Go here. 2, 3, and 4. Oopsie. There we go. People that are still waiting in line, but such is life.
Only 2 dinosaurs there.
Sorry, 2.
Yep.
And those are. Oh, almost forgot.
Yep. And so I'm actually going to make one recommendation,
Yes.
just because of the goal. Put a hooligan in your hat shop,
So
or will it matter? No,
it
it'll
doesn't.
matter
Oh,
because you're going to get 7 points from dinosaurs, and you'll score that objective.
dinosaurs.
Right.
That's why. My apologies. So in my mind, I was thinking points,
No,
but it's
so
actually from
it is specifically
dinosaur.
from dinosaur
And
exhibits.
that was the whole point of me doing this,
exactly,
so I could get the 7
and
points.
that's why I could see you building towards that
Yes.
last round.
Sorry.
So
yes.
that's why I wanted to try and trigger the end game last round before you were able to. But
So this is why it's
yeah.
important to read the cards. Dinosaur.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get it as well, but I was hoping I could get it before you.
Right.
But yeah, that's a 7-point difference there. So let's
Well,
cover
and an 8. Yeah.
threat level. So your threat level is 10 plus 2 is 12. Your security level is increased by 1.
Yes.
So is 12. So you're fine. So nobody's going to get eaten.
Which. Yeah.
I, on the other hand, have a threat level of 10, 11,
Oh, I so didn't count that right.
13, and my security level is 12. So one person gets eaten. Goodbye, hat shop.
I gave up a
As
point.
always.
I just realized.
Did I count incorrectly?
No, you counted
Okay.
correct. I'm
Okay.
the one who did math wrong.
Okay, no problem. So then we look at how many points you have remaining in your park,
So 4, 5, 6, 7,
and that is all from dinosaurs.
and then plus 1 for the intern.
Is 8, so you get 8 points. Is 28, and you did get that objective. I have 4. Actually, before I do that,
Sure.
I do lose 1 because I did have somebody eaten, so I go down to 18. Now I count mine. 4, I get 8, so up to 26, and that is all from dinosaurs, so I also complete that objective.
Nice.
Again, you can't have multiple people getting an objective unless it's in the same phase, and we're in the same phase right now. Okay, and because that is 2 of the 3 objectives claimed, that's it. We're into this is the final phase. So we don't have to worry about any cleanup. We've earned our money, we've got our points. So we're going to go into final scoring, and this is a very close game. You're ahead by 2, and I think you've pulled off the win, but let's find out.
We'll find out. I'm actually going to trade these in.
I'll count first, just because I am last, and I think you might end up pulling into the lead. So let's see here. So you're going to be scoring any attractions which we do not have. So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
This one.
This is a strategy I usually take.
We ended up not. It's actually funny that neither of us went for the attractions this time around. So here is not so much an attraction, but it's the first aid station. It's considered a merchandise. I don't know. You buy a new arm because it was bitten off. Anyway,
Sure.
So it would have cost 9 plus whatever the level is in the market, but at the end of the game, it is worth 3 points plus the abilities that you get throughout the game for that. So at this point, you would score any attractions. We don't have any. So then you look at your dinosaur park, your dinosaur exhibits, and I won't mess with those. I'll show one from here. So the way you're going to score these points is you look at the star value are the points, and that will be per dinosaur that you have in that exhibit. So if you had 4 in this exhibit, you would get 8 points for it. Put that back. So looking at mine, I have 4 at 1 apiece, so that's 4 points. 3 at 4 apiece, that's 12. And then 1 at 2, so 12, 14, 18 points in dinosaurs. 30, 44. All right. Then we are going to be looking at. Actually, let's cover yours for that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
again, no attractions. No attractions.
No attractions, but so 4 here at 1 apiece, so that's 4 points.
Yep.
These 2 are 7 each.
And that's where you're going to get big points. Yeah.
So 14 plus 4 is 18. And then 2 apiece here for another 4, so 22.
22. Very nice. So that'll be 50. Boom. Okay. Then we are going to be looking at the completed objectives. Each objective in the medium level game are 7 points apiece, so we both get 14 points. So you're going to go to 64, so you get a plus 50.
Ooh, thank you.
64, and I get 14, which puts me to 58. I'll also get a plus 50. And then lastly, you're looking at money scored at 1 victory point for every $5. So I get 3 points for that. 3 points for that puts me at 11, and
I also get
3
points.
There you go.
Still pretty close.
That is a 6-point game. Well done.
Yes.
I knew with your the carnivores, and I'm drinking carnivore. I'm drinking carnivore. I should have just gone straight for the large carnivores.
I went early, and this.
Yeah.
Yes, I had to do it because I usually take my time. I'm like, no, get to it early.
And you would cash in. You would cash in that money. So that $15 would have been gone from both of us. And then what would happen is if there was still a tie at that point, whoever has the most remaining money left would win.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah, I definitely think the medium game is the one that most people gravitate toward at first, just to become accustomed to it and learn some strategies. And then once you become comfortable, then you can potentially pull out a longer game. And even then, I don't find it overly lengthy.
No.
I like the fact that in this game you can take a variety of strategies. Oftentimes I will go for the amusement park and the food and the attractions, and I'll use that as a strategy because some of them can actually garner you points or money depending on your workers.
Yeah, the restaurants are good for that. The restaurants have the flexibility of $2 or 1 victory point when you have a paying customer in there. So it does provide some good flexibility, but I find they can be expensive.
Very.
So here's Rex Mex. So there's a restaurant. It does cost $3 to get it, plus whatever level it is at.
Right.
So they can get rather expensive sometimes. So I find that they're good if you get them early.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't necessarily go for that late game because they're generally not going to be worth points at the end of the game. They just have that flexibility throughout the game. So nice to get early.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of the color, the theme. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Jurassic Park. I know it's not Jurassic Park, but
no.
Just saying dinosaurs and people get eaten,
Absolutely.
Just anyway. Similar idea. So I actually really liked that a lot. And like I said, I just like the fact that you can do a variety of things. I'm a big Feld fan, so everybody knows those are point salad type games. I like games where you can pick something, kind of run with it. Oh, maybe I changed my mind and I'll try this here. And you're okay to do that. So, and then I do.
And it is a typical worker placement where you just don't have time.
You don't. You want to do
You'll
everything.
have all these big plans and then
can't.
realize, oh, right, I can't. I don't have enough workers. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough. Yeah.
And people had talked about replayability, but you're always changing it. Length of game.
Yep.
You have different objectives, plot twists. I mean, there are ways to alter the game. So unless you're playing this 3, 4, 5 times a day, maybe you'll get tired of it. But you have time to change
No,
it
there's
and get to do something new.
a lot of variability. I'll give a couple examples of plot twists. So the 2 plot twists that we played with is at the end of every round, we each got to take another advanced DNA. You wouldn't normally be able to do that. And at the end of every round, we got to pick one of those 3 upgrades. You wouldn't normally be able to do that. So, for example, here's one. Each player may hire 1 additional specialist during the game. Normally, you're capped at 3. If that plot twist is in play, you can actually hire 4. Here's the plot twist somebody was asking about. You add the purple DNA die to the dice pool. So that's going to add more variability, and it will actually have a greater chance of having advanced DNA on it. So that's going to change the game, and you might be able to get the large carnivores in play quicker because you'll have more advanced DNA in the game. So there are all kinds of ways to modify the game with all of these plot twist cards.
So overall, it's a win for me. I mean, I liked it as soon as I saw it. I remember emailing Jonathan, I'm like, what was the reason behind the color choices? And it's funny, after playing it, I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense. I just get it. And at first I was worried that would turn people off, but I think it actually is drawing people to the game. So for me, I really enjoy this game. It's a game that I can teach fairly easily, even though there are a lot of bits to it. And people tend to pick up on it. Like I said, I recommend short game if you're really just learning, but if you're playing with gamers, like I was teaching a game and they wanted to play the short, and I'm like, I really recommend you play the medium because I always feel it's not long enough. Yeah.
If it's somebody's first worker placement, then the short game, and it will still be easy to teach them. But like Mandi said, if they're an experienced worker placement, especially type gamer,
right,
medium. Yeah.
So I think that's it for Dinosaur Island, but to let you know what's coming up next, actually, I think we're doing another Jonathan Gilmore game, aren't we?
Is it?
Is it Path?
No.
It's Petrichor?
Nope.
What is it? Oh! We try and play these games in advance. Like, there's so many. So you kind of got a wind of what we're going to be playing soon. But no, it's the...
There were spoilers there.
Spoilers! So it's the Approaching Dawn, the Witching Hour?
Approaching Dawn, the Witching Hour.
Yes. Oh! And I have some exciting news for those of you still in the chat. There will be a giveaway.
Yes.
Wait, let me see that again. Next stream, there will be a giveaway of 2 copies coming directly from the designer himself of Approaching Dawn, the Witching Hour. So there will be instructions. I will post this. There will be instructions in the actual video of how you have to enter, and it'll be very similar to the marathon where it'll be during streams. I think it's fair. People who are watching should be able to get ahead on that. So more to come. Keep an eye on my Twitter. I'll be posting about it there as well, and so will Michael. And we'll put some instructions in the actual information of the video for you to follow. Got to follow it to a T to get the game, because I'll be picking a winner while we're playing. And Susan will be joining us because it is a 3-person minimum game. So definitely something to look forward to.
And that'll be cooperative. We'll be puzzling through that together as a 3-player cooperative game.
Yeah. So anybody joining us, giveaway next stream. Approaching Dawn, the Witching Hour. This is published by WizKid Games, but the designer potentially may join us in the chat for questions and queries as well. Okay.
Excellent.
So I think that's it. Anybody have any requests for games, you know where to email us, MichaelandMandiPlay@gmail.com. Next, I think this week, so tomorrow, it's the Dice Tower podcast with Tom and Eric, but I'll be back the following week with Suzanne Sheldon. That's who I co-host the podcast with, if you didn't already know. And we'll be back here next week with Approaching Dawn, the Witching Hour. I think that's it.
Sounds good.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining.
Fabulous as always. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.